Unleash your racing spirit with the next addition to the Gazoo racing line, designed to excite your heart with new styling that's bold and tough. Improved performance to awaken your off-road passions. Control and comfort, designed for rough terrains. Racing features to inspire you to push past your limits. And race your unbreakable spirit. The new Toyota Hilux GRS.
At the core of Toyota Gazoo racing lies motorsports and the commitment to always push every limit to create ever better cars. And when that very same principle is applied to the Philippines' best-selling sedan, this is what you get. The new Vios GRS. One look and you can't deny that it captures the feel and excitement you see on the track. It's designed forged with Gazoo Racing's innovative motorsport architecture, with remarkable black accent details so you command attention. And an exclusive GR emblem for you to express your car's leveled up identity. On the inside, the Vios GRS now houses semi-bucket sports seats that emulate a racing cockpit, so you feel more of that Toyota Gazoo racing competitive spirit. More than its appealing new aesthetics, the new Vios GRS does not compromise on safety and is still a quality, durable, and reliable car that you know and trust. With carefully designed security features, so you can always focus on enjoying a stimulating drive. As for performance, the Vios GRS drives sensational with precise shifting, and a sporty, manual feel to satisfy your thirst for thrill. On the road or on the track, always be ready for a heart-racing, exhilarating ride. The new Vios GRS. Bring on the thrill.
Mic test?
Mic test.
Paano kaya yung... well, for...
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Clark International Speedway for the final races of leg number 2. I'm James Deacon.
And I'm Gabby Del Merced.
And we are raring to go because we have what promises to be a killer afternoon. No, that's a bad choice of word. A super exciting afternoon, because what we saw already in the promotional class, especially in the first race today, if anything like that happens again, I don't think my nerves can take it.
Yeah, that bumper. I'll be selling bumpers after this.
Yeah, if you missed it, it was one of the most exciting races we've had the pleasure of watching and commentating on. It was like a spin cycle in a washing machine in terms of just the way the order kept changing and changing and changing.
Yes.
And this was from first, second, third, fourth, all the way down the line. It was just action everywhere. Even the highlights guy couldn't keep up with what was going on. There was just, I didn't know where to start, and I don't blame them because there was just too much going on in the track. So they've got everything to play for still coming up this afternoon, and we are going to be covering it every single corner and just making sure you understand what's going on and what's at stake here.
Oh, yes. And with what we said last time, with our winners, it's a reverse grid. To the people who are just watching right now, a reverse grid means from 1 to 6, it's going to be reversed now. From 6th place, they're going to be in 1st place now, which is Jared Messina, then Ian Rosales, which was in 5th place, and then Daniel Matsunaga, which finished basically in 4th.
No,
now one up.
Danielle got the a podium. I think what we're looking at here, if I'm looking at this, because Jay won, right?
Okay.
Jay won the race, and Julia was 2nd, and Daniel was 3rd. So somebody's missing. We bumped up to 5th. Otherwise,
okay. Yeah, like what we were talking about a while ago with the whole technical aspect when everything's provisional since the last race. And yeah, obviously the stewards did their magic. They saw some little trickery here and there, and they slapped on maybe certain penalties or certain awards.
Yes.
And there you have it. This is our final grid.
This is the final grid, so let's call it out for them so everyone knows where everybody is in terms of position, starting positions we're talking about, and that's
I love
there
it.
is Jaron Messina in pole position, Ian Rosales in 2nd, Daniel Matsunaga in 3rd.
Yes, then followed up by Julia de los Angeles in 4th. 5th is Jay Lau. 6th, Elaine Alzona. 7th, Bong Garbes. 8th, Fabio Ide. 9, Alan Palacios. 10, Teddy Javines. And in 11th, Romel Guevara.
Yeah, so something happened there, either in the stewards or just somebody didn't show up, and then that bumped everybody up a little bit because, as we were mentioning earlier, Jay Lau did win the race, and he's now there in 5th. He should have been in 6th if we look at the reverse grid, but when we get that information, we'll share it with you. But right now, the cars are in what you call the warm-up lap. This is, or a formation lap, depending on... Is that the same thing, right?
Yeah,
formation
it's pretty much the same thing.
It's just basically to get all those fluids moving around the car, get your tires heated up, etc. And of course, get your focus on. Or is that part of it?
Of course, that everything's in there, from tires to brakes to getting the rhythm of your handling of the car, seeing the track, if it's a dirty track or it's clean or not, if there are any puddles or like how the rumble strips are. And obviously there's a little bit of psyching out the opponents as well.
That's true. Actually, that's another point. Part of the formation lap is also to see what's out there. The track changes all the time, and if it's your first lap out there, you don't want to go into a racing lap and there's puddles or I wouldn't worry so much about the debris, because that's what we have the safety car go out first, right?
Yes.
Safety car does a sweep and make sure that there's nothing too major out there, but we're looking for the minor things. And then of course there's that mental preparation So a lot of this is happening as they go around, and then of course they want to check if their cars are working properly, you know?
Yes, and you know what? Yeah, some people might think, okay, the condition of the track today will be the same throughout the day. No, it changes from like even from the first lap to the last lap. It could change by a few degrees. It could get a little hotter, which rises up the temperature of the tires and everything. There's just so much factors that come into play when you're out at your warm-up lap.
And this is the absolute last opportunity that the drivers have to do their TikToks, and
Yes.
no, we are joking. We are completely joking.
Grab some selfies. Not just kidding.
Ready to race, hashtag, yeah. No, they are not allowed to bring their cell phones anywhere near the car. So that's definitely definitely a joke. But this is really, for me, one of those opportunities to just, you're trying to focus, but there's just so much running through your mind at the time. And with everything up for grabs here, we're literally at the exact halfway mark of the season.
Yes, and usually the last race, that's what you leave with. So everything is at stake. This is like the most important race so far, usually. Because this marks how you'll feel for the rest of the months leading up to the next leg. So all bets are off on this. So if you want to do something, now's the time. And they're all pretty much thinking that right now.
I like how you put that, because they always say you're only as good as your last whatever, right? In racing, it's your last race. It could be your last movie if you're an actor, your last song. So this is a very good point that Gab brings up, because yes, you're going to have to go into the off season or the break just being either a winner or I'm not going to say it.
A winner or an
podium
almost
placer
winner.
or almost winner.
Yes.
But everyone wants to be a winner. Nobody comes here to almost win, right? And that's what we love about it, because there are no L's here, because just by participating in this series, you're already a winner of some shape or form.
Yes.
Okay, so we have the actual race. Okay, but we have the race starting there, camera 4. That was internal. I didn't need to share that with everybody. Okay.
But yes, they are fixing it up. You could see the space in the middle. So there is a car that didn't make it. And we are off.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm not off. These guys are. All right, we had a great start there from car number 18. That is Jaron, and already looks like everybody's kind of keeping the same pace. But as they disappear into the first corner, let's see how this all comes to play here, because this is so important. Your positioning here can determine the entire race, and it looks like Jaron might be losing that place. There you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. Jaron took the outside line there, which normally wouldn't be such a problem, but on the opening lap, we talked about this in the last race, he's not just going to lose that one position, he's probably going to lose 3 or 4. Okay, and we have a car sideways over there, down the middle of the pack. Let's see where Jaron ended up, because staying wide on the first corner in the first turn, not a good idea, is it?
Definitely a no-no. It's hard. That's why. Yes, you do have half a car length advantage when you're in pole, but you are in the outside line, so it's detrimental to take in the inside line, to take in the defense line.
At all costs, right?
Yes, take a tight line. You have to do it. If not, you know, the person has to do behind him is just
box
do that
you out.
train.
That's it.
And
Just
that's
box
it.
you out.
You'll be taking it wide the whole lap out.
Yes, and that strategy can work for you. Let's just see exactly what we're talking about here and see where, as an example, where Jaron ended up. He's in 4th place. See, that's exactly what we're talking about. You don't just lose a spot. So it's important, I guess, now as a strategy here in Clark, is to aim your car already at the inside line.
Yes.
Because
you know,
the
you
pole
could actually kind of angle it a bit during takeoff if you want to. But look at this. Jay Lau is doing a tremendous start. He's already up at 2nd. Ian Rosales at 1st. Whew.
Yes, and so there we go. Ian Rosales was the winner in that particular exchange, at least coming out in front. But then Jay Lau is already coming up from 5th place. He's already right behind, and that is very, very impressive. Is he? No, did he overtake already? No, 69, no. It's still Ian Rosales, and right behind him is that car 65? Right behind Ian Rosales. Let's just see if that camera angle pulls up. Okay, we lost the angle there, but they will come around.
There,
It is.
66. It is him.
66.
You know, he's having a tremendous weekend right now. If you think about, he just won. He was first in the 5th race, and now he's second in the 6th race.
Well, you know, he did call himself the DQ king, so maybe his luck is turning. Maybe if anyone deserves that luck, it is him. You know, after having so many struggles getting disqualified for various reasons. We don't exactly know what those reasons were because it was only shared to us by Jay himself. So, but Jay is now in 2nd place, Alan Palacios in 3rd, and it was Jaron who lost out big time on that first corner.
And you know what? Jay Lau just made it to first now on the first turn.
Wow, wow.
What a tremendous start for him.
But it ain't over because look how close Ian Rosales is to the back of his car. And remember, Ian Rosales also, we got to point out, has been one of the most consistent drivers in this particular category. So consistency does pay off. Now, if Jay wins this race, but Jay is getting DQ'd in other races, well, you can see how the math won't add up later on. It's better to just remain consistently second than it is to win a race and DQ, win a race, DQ. So that's going to be Jay's big struggle, is making up for all those DQs that he told us about.
Yes, yes. Let's just hope it was in previous seasons, not this season.
Yes, exactly. Let's just hope it was, because it was also a bit of a surprise to us when he shared that with Judd over in the awarding ceremony. But let's see how this is starting to unfold for us here. We've got Ian Rosales. Jay Lau ahead now of Ian Rosales. Ian was biting right at nipping at his heels, so to speak, but is looking like Jay's pulling away.
Yeah, it looks like he's been pulling away, but it's quite fascinating because the first 3 racers, Ian Rosales, Jay Lau, and Alan Palacios, seem to be within the same second of each other, which is, it's like literally one snap and you're there.
Yep, and there's only 0.297 seconds that separate the drivers now, so that is just basically a blink of an eye or so, and anything can happen still in this race. But yeah, that's the result of the reverse grid. It lends to the expression, you can't keep a good man down, right? Because if Jay, you put him there in 5th place and now he's leading this race. So talent will always shine, and he has been absolutely shining in this race over here. Come on, we're only into the 2nd lap now. So he overtook for 1st place in the 1st lap.
Yes, he overtook for
second,
first.
Actually, sorry, the first corner, 2nd lap.
So 1st lap, he was able, from 5th, he went to 2nd, and the entry of the 2nd lap, he went to 1st.
Yes.
And he's doing this with all this ballast also.
That's another thing that he has to, exactly. So if he can do this with the ballast, that is saying a lot. You can imagine how much better he's going to do without it. But then again, when you look at it that way, if you don't have the ballast, that means you didn't do well in the last race. So everything evens out in the wash.
Definitely.
This whole magic syrup thing that we've been talking about, which is our little recipe, or not ours, but it's a TGR Vios Cups recipe to just make things a little interesting. But that's just the byproduct. The more important reason for that was to basically get these drivers trained for the most challenging and changing events, because in racing you're always going to have to deal with problems on the fly and disadvantages, etc. So we may as well teach them as early as now.
Yeah. Well, look at that. They seem to have like a steady pace right now, getting into the groove. Jay is really pushing through, huh? He's like a second faster than everyone else, which is now he's gaining a lot more time. A while ago, they were all within a second. Now, from 2nd to 4th, they are a second away, a second or 2 away from the 1st placer, which is Jay Lau. Now, I think the battle is more on 6th and 7th place.
Well, I'm glad to see Fabio Ide also back in the race, because remember, he did have a retirement right on the last lap. And that forced him into the final last position of this race. He's now running in 6th place, which is very good news, only considering where he started. Obviously, he wants to finish higher than that, and he is more than capable. Fabio is also a winner in many races, and he also took a championship once with the celebrity class. So he's definitely one to watch out for there, but glad to see him climbing up after that pretty, not a great finish to the last race due to a retirement.
He tried
Of course
definitely.
he tried.
You know, I saw even with those 2 boys, they were very aggressive. Danielle, especially, he was there up in the top three. And you know how things go. Sometimes there are mishaps. Sometimes you're in the shorter end of the stick. He was at the shorter end of the stick that day, but I do not question his performance. We're gonna see definitely a lot of action from them a lot later. It's only been 3 laps in. There's 9 laps to go. And it looks like it's getting a little dark over here.
we were just talking off the air just before the race started. We were like looking at doing the math.
Ooh, wait. Sorry. Let me just, if we could highlight that. I think there was a bit of an overtake. No, Alan Palacios just tried to turn in. He took it tight, but Ian Rosales was able to close the door. Yeah, because he was running wide.
All right. Well, you know what? If he's going to have a look once, you can pretty much be sure he's going to have another look down any time very soon. But the good news here for Jay Lau, at least, is he is building a gap, and it's a gap now of 1.260. That was already he's extending his lead, which he needs to do. You know, sometimes we work on the reaction of the crowds here. I can hear the
It's like,
screaming.
where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, it's like something happened.
You know what's fascinating about it is like anything could really just happen. Like what, an hour ago there was a bit of rain. Oh, and there could be an overtake. We're there at the back
Fabio.
stretch. And this is coming into a really tight turn. So the back end over here is a dog leg wherein you're flat out even at that kink. And you come into like a really tight,
no.
okay, whoever's inside will make this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Fabio almost, he almost had it, but that's the danger of staying on the outside, and that's also why we're talking about thinking 3 or 4 or 5 corners ahead in some cases, because sometimes you got to give it up. You got to give up the disadvantage because you know where that sequence of corners is going to end up, and it's about positioning yourself where you can make the move stick.
Yes. You know, sometimes, yes, there obviously is an advantage of staying out because when you're staying out, you're at the racing line. So you get a faster turn in. The thing is, though, with that, you're at the mercy of the person who is inside.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't turn in correctly, you're going to be forced to let off gas or brake. So all that momentum that you've been building just goes to waste.
Yes, because you basically have to have that full car length ahead in order to execute that maneuver successfully. Because if you don't, like Gab said, one, you're going to either have to get off the gas, or worse, you're going to make the turn, and then you're going to get your back end clipped a little bit, and then your car is going to go into a spin, and then it's not just one position you lose, it's pretty much in the entire race sometimes. Racing, full of heartbreak. The highest of highs and the lowest of lows, as they say. But that's sport, and that's why we tune in, because if there was a script to this, it would be a movie, and we don't get out of bed like this, watch a movie. We want to see what happens live.
Yep.
Too much of the world is scripted nowadays. This is why sport is becoming more and more popular, because it is as raw as it gets.
Yes, it's genuine energy, it's genuine trials, and obviously the victory is sweeter than ever.
And you cannot get that sweetness in the victory without the bitterness of defeat.
Ooh,
right?
yes.
Wow, we're getting very deep here. You tuned in for the racing, but you stayed for the psychology again.
Yes, tune in for our philosophies in life.
Oh, it's always fun. But you know what? It really does. I mean, it's a huge part of it, a massive part of it, actually. And there looked like, well, I thought that was a bit of tapping.
So
Did you?
yeah.
It looked like it, right, from the
like
angle?
It looked like a bit of tapping, unless, you know, it
I think
was
it was
just
the
like a
angle.
tricky camera angle.
Might have been.
I think they're playing it a little more safe, because I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of like slaps on the wrist from the last race with our go-kart sequence.
The principal's office was full today. As we
So
walked
to
out
speak.
in between the autocross, we saw there was a line outside the principal's office. That, in racing terms, is basically the steward's office, and everybody was out there, you know, getting detention, getting.
Yeah, and it hurts.
Of course it does.
You know, especially coming out, you know, you thought you won the race, you have it all, you're excited, and it's like, ooh, di pala.
Yeah, but you know, again, it forces you to be disciplined, because, you know, it's not. It's an art. Racing is an art form, and you really want to train people to do it beautifully and gracefully, because when it's done like that, it's so beautiful to watch. I mean, you watch it at the highest level with Formula One, but we've seen it here in the track, where you see some of the maneuvers made. It's so beautiful when they do a sequence correctly. It's not aggressive. It's just pure momentum, patience, skill, timing.
Ooh, it looks like there's going to be an is it?
How close are they? We've also got body parts flying around again.
Yeah. Well, ooh, it looks, okay, the black car, I just can't see the number. Looks like he took the inside lane, trying to overtake. Will he stick it? Wait, let me see. No, nice try over there.
Okay, and
But-
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to explain something to the newbies, because I'm trying to imagine some people tuned in going, well, if that's the case, why doesn't everyone just go on the inside line? Are you saying you can never overtake on the outside? Absolutely not. But you have to know what's coming up, because if you're on the outside, yes, you can sacrifice that corner if the next corner is you're gonna be in the inside. It's really about thinking 2 or 3 or 4 corners ahead.
Yeah.
So it's not a golden rule that you'll never overtake on the outside. Absolutely not. People do it all the time. But especially in the first corner that we talked about, that's where it's probably a good idea to just stick on the inside, because you're running with a train of cars. If you were just the only 2 cars doing it, you could play the little game of staying on the outside, sacrifice, tuck back in, because the next corner you're going to be on the inside. But if there's 4 cars in a row, that's it. Like Jaron lost.
There's just so much factors into play, because like if there's someone behind you and they're slipstreaming that, they technically have the advantage of few more horsepower coming up there. So you have to be confident enough that you have the momentum of going out, doing the racing line. Obviously, when you do the racing line, that's the optimal line, which means you have the fastest route going upstairs. But if you have someone from the inside, you have to get all that coverage, and that is a car length coverage that you have to pass through. So it really depends on how far you think. It's there's a bit of calculations. There's a bit of physics involved, and that's all going through your head in hyperdrive, if you think about it. 'Cause these racers are not just putting 80%, they're putting 100, 110%. They're racing at the edge, and this is how it is with sprint races. It's not like an endurance race where you have 120 laps or 200 laps to overtake the person, and you can take your time and see how the person is like. 12 laps could seem like an eternity, but like 5 laps in, you're like, it's almost done, and you only have like a few corners left to overtake.
Well, that depends on what position you're in, yeah.
Yes.
Because if you're leading, it feels like forever. If you're behind, it's never enough.
It's never enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true.
Good news, though, is Jaron Messina is back onto a podium position, and that's great because he did drop down from 1st to 4th. So at least there is still a opportunity for a podium here, although we still have 6 laps to go, so that's quite a lot. But at least he was dropped down to 4th after the first corner.
Yeah, that was pretty heartbreaking for him. Well, we're hitting the midway mark, which is 6 laps to go. Jay Lau seems very, very comfortable on first place. He's like more than 4 seconds ahead of everyone else. And when you're in that comfort zone and you know no one's behind you, you could breathe. You can think straight. You could relax a little bit. Just as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, I think he could bring this home.
And there's also a fine line with that, because when you talk about relaxing, obviously it's different when somebody's breathing down your bumper there and just like filling up your rear view and side mirrors. But there's also such a thing as when you get too comfortable, you can zone out and make mistakes,
Oh,
right?
yes. Yes.
So you always have to keep yourself always on the ball, but it's still, any racer would still want to be in this position where it's clean air, they're out on their own, and then they can just focus on nailing those lap times. Because the rest of the people who are fighting it out are losing time and you're just gaining time.
Yep.
But you just can't take it too easy, because that's usually where sometimes we've seen people go out even behind a safety car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen people go out even during
Warm-up laps.
Warm-up laps,
Yeah. You take it
Yeah.
for granted, and and then it reminds you of the focus that you need yes, you're on autopilot, but when you start drifting off, your mind starts thinking about dinner or what you're gonna do
Yeah,
for
the
TikTok.
steak. Yeah, it really gets tricky. You really need 100% focus, especially with things like this, because it's not the type of thing where, and like, uy, nagkamali ako, oh, let's get back on track. Usually, when you're up at these speeds, the minute you second guess yourself, the minute you go, ah, you're already there at the grass.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no room to be absent-minded.
None at all. But you know who's not absent-minded at the moment is Jay Lau as we speak. This
He
guy's
is.
nailing down fastest laps after fast laps, best times, and he's 4.389 seconds ahead of Alan Palacios.
Yes, yeah, but you know what?
Alan's
Alan
climbed
seems
up
to
a-
be
yeah.
gaining. A while ago, they were pretty much four bundled up from second place all the way to fifth place, and now looking at it, Alan Palacios is trying to gain momentum. He's almost a second faster than Jay Lau during the last lap. Let's see if he could keep this momentum. I mean, if it's going like this with 4 seconds, a little more than 4 seconds difference, he might gain on him by the time we're at the last or second to the last lap.
The one who is, and why also Jaron is up there in third is Ian Rosales seems to have dropped down a bit. So I'm not sure what sort of problem he's dealing with, but he's in fifth place over there. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but we got, and Julia de los Angeles as well is uncharacteristically struggling there with her pace at the moment.
Yeah, well, I don't know also if the rain had an effect with it, because it
True.
rained a little bit a while ago. So I could imagine the track to be a little damp. And especially with these rumble strips that you have over here, you can't really notice it as much. But most of these rumble strips, they're painted. So if you go on top of them, they get very slippery. And there are quite a few of them, especially on exit,
Yes.
that have these like little bumps on them.
Like
that-
big squares, right?
Yeah.
Like where they collect pockets of water.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about, where we were hosting, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
yep.
stepped on one. And I was thinking, when did it rain? I mean, was it last night that it rained? I don't think it rained this morning.
Yes, I don't think
Well,
it
it was
rained.
still full because it collects big puddles of water within that. I hope that they show a camera angle. There, where the
Yeah, where he's avoiding
although
right now.
it's really going fast, so you can't really see it. But okay, as they come out of this corner, if the camera angle's still the same, there, exit. You see where they're exiting? That is what we're talking about.
Here, you'll
There.
see. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
when they touch that, you'll see a big splash of water,
Mm-hmm.
and you think, when did it rain? And it's because it just takes a while for that to evaporate. It's pretty deep, and then it spills onto the paint, like you said,
Yes.
which is very slippery.
So it gets pretty tricky, and especially if you have like one side of your car that's wet, like wet on either the right or the left side of your tires, and you have another side that's completely dry, then it gets a little bit tricky in terms of like the sliding angle and stuff like that. So these are new things that obviously the drivers need to keep in mind as well.
And it's the worst thing, for me, that would be the worst place to go off is that particular corner. I can't, it's terrifying because you're really coming at speed there, and what ends up happening is you end up spinning out and either going over the wall, which has happened.
Oh, yes.
Not over, but I mean, it wasn't a race. It was
Yeah.
somewhere else. I saw, wow, look at that.
New way of like we just had a guy with a camera on a skateboard go
Yeah.
sideways. That's such a unique way to take photos.
I think it's video. I would imagine
yeah,
it's video.
it would be.
I don't see the
to make
advantage
sense,
of
right?
taking a
Yeah,
photo like
definitely.
that, but in video, that was like awesome. I know
Oh.
you can't see it. It's nothing to do with the race, but we had to share it because it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but anyway, speaking of that turn, I've finally experienced it during the endurance race.
you
Oh, yeah.
you had an off there?
I had
Oh,
a pretty
that's
bad off,
terrifying.
and I had no idea. I thought I had it.
It
I thought I
snapped, right?
nailed it. I was flat out, and it just snapped.
And where did you end up? Did you end up on the inner wall or the outer wall?
The inner wall.
Yeah, me too. Because
Yeah.
But
It-
that's why it's so temperamental that usually you spin and then you end up flipping into the inner side of the
Oh,
wall.
yes.
Did you hit the wall or did you
I,
skid?
I hit the wall and I
Was
hurt
it-
my pride more than
Okay.
anything.
But was
The-
it a race-ending hit or?
No, no, it wasn't a race-ending hit. Though, I mean, I haven't had an accident in. God,
Commentators curse.
I don't. Oh man. But anyway.
So you know exactly what
I
I'm
know
talking about.
exactly
Alright.
what you're talking about right now.
I missed the wall by the sheer grace of God, but it was, yeah, it wasn't even a race car. We were in a it was in a road car, and I was being taken around by Carlos Anton. I'm not trying to suggest it's his fault, of course. I just heard that because he's got one of the calmest voices, right? He's so he's so experienced. And I heard this quiver in his voice, James. And before he could finish the James, we were in a spin. He could feel it, right? He could just feel it.
Oh, I can imagine
Yeah.
him.
And it was like we went spinning in this. This is a few years back, and I'll never forget that feeling. So every time I see the Vios Cup cars do this, I'm like, oh God, I hope nobody does.
Yeah, well, you know what? Carlos Anton is one of the most experienced and like best drivers you have out there. So definitely, I'm sure he pushed it to the limit.
Yeah, he was just basically showing me his line around the track, and I guess okay, now I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and be honest. Of course, you're trying to impress the Carlos Anton. That was me. I was trying to impress him, and I don't.
So you were driving.
I was driving.
You
yes.
were driving.
Let's just clear
Carlos.
that up. Carlos was sitting in the passenger
Oh.
seat, trying to show me his line and train me, and I was being that noob, just trying to impress the trainer.
Yeah.
Which is the
way to
dumbest thing
go.
anyone can do. Okay, I'm using myself as example here. Dumb thing to do, but yeah, it didn't end so. You want to impress your trainer, just listen. Okay, don't try to outdrive them or show them your fancy skills. They've seen it all.
So Inigo, if you're listening to this,
If Carlos is listening to this, I'm sure he'll be laughing, remembering that feel. No, he definitely, it was me who spun.
I'm sure he'd be telling the story right now at the paddocks.
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like there's gonna be an overtake right here.
That's-
Let's see if he could stick it in. Oh, it looks like he got it because this is going into the chicane. Oh,
They're still
wait,
side
no,
by
no,
side.
they're still okay. No, I don't think.
That was Fabio either, right?
He had to let that go because there's just nowhere out there. If you're side by side, you're gonna need to let the person inside go.
Okay, well, that was Fabio against Julia de Los Angeles. And it looks like Fabio has retained his spot. If I'm not mistaken, he's still retained his spot, which is number 7.
Yeah, so things are pretty much still going smooth for J. Lau. Second is Alan Palacios. Third, Jared Messina. Fourth, Ian Rosales. Fifth, Daniel Matsunaga. Sixth, Elaine Alzona. Seventh, Fabio Ide. And eighth, Julius de Los Angeles. So we have 2 laps to go. If there's any moves you want to do, you better prep it now because it's do or die right now. Oh, and there's a bit of a Daniel Matsunaga. I don't know if there was an incident right there or he just went off the track.
I think he was looking for his bumper. I'm not sure, but poor guy. That's gonna drop him down. He was in 5th place at the time, and this is the last lap. We're told. Yes, it's the last lap because we have our monitors frozen. There we go. It's frozen, and it's the last lap. So we will let you know when the checkered flag comes out. If you're looking at the timing screens, it's just a little behind at the moment. So that is pretty tragic for Daniel Matsunaga because he's obviously going to have a very difficult time, if not an impossible time, trying to make those places up.
You know, everyone's more or less gotten to their groove. The only people that I'm looking right now that looks close to each other is the battle for second. And the battle for second would be Elaine Palacios and Jared Messina.
Okay, well, here comes the J. Lau in front of the... This is the last sequence of corners, or the last section of the Clark International Speedway. He's got such a dominating lead. Not as dominating as the 12 seconds of John Dizon, which will still be... I'm still amazed by that, on how much of a gap he won by. But Jay is certainly very comfortably in the lead. As you said, there's still potential, very slim, but potential for a swap for second place.
Yes, it's hard. Like when you know the carousel, I would say would be one of the last places because when by the time you get to the chicane, it's really just really hard to overtake unless you have a big exit advantage. It's gonna be hard.
Okay, well, let's see if the checkered flag is out.
Oh
no,
no,
it's not out.
Okay, so we have one lap to go.
Yeah, so
This is it.
It is definitely now. Okay, I'm glad we have this live view this time because we can actually see, you know, because we are there is a bit of a problem with the timing devices sometimes, but we're able to see that it wasn't the last lap. They actually were. There's still one more racing lap to go, and we can physically see there he's pulling out the checkered flag. Now I see him. This is definitely the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. The last lap of the promotional. We're in the promotional class, of course. It's so exciting, that's why.
All right, and look at it now. If we could close up to that, okay, you could already see Jaron trying to make his move. He's there. He's right behind him, you know, looking for that slipstream right there. If we could stick on the battle for second, that would be great.
Yes, let's try to stay there because that seems to be the only area that we might get some kind of a last-minute swap. And this is a very precious position, too, the battle for second place. Jay Lau there can almost taste the victory.
Yeah, it's hard. It's tricky. It's like, you know, in one hand, you know you're definitely going to get a position. You're in the top 3. You're already in third. So do you risk it and try to go for second? Or do you stay comfortable and, you know, share that win with your fellow opponent?
No.
And concede with third.
Let's make poor decisions. Let's just always go for the win.
Woohoo! Let's make it exciting.
Nobody races for third. Come on. but you make a good point, and we can't discount that. That is very important as well when you talk about whether you're racing with your head. But you know, it's primal. Well, racing is primal, so
Yes.
you can think and think and think. But when you see an opportunity, you're gonna take it,
That
no
is
matter
true.
what, right?
To be a true racer, any opening is an opening.
Isn't that the famous Ayrton Senna saying?
Yup.
When you see a gap, you take it. No
So
matter how
true.
small the gap is, you take it.
So now we're on to our last couple of turns. Well, Jay is on his last turn right there, right after this flat-out kink. He is out for the checkered flag.
And we can literally physically see the checkered flag, so we know it's all over, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Lau with his second victory for the day. Coming from a 5th spot, then is car number 44, Alan Palacios, and Jaron Messina was able to get a podium position after being dropped down to 4th from 1st place. So at least there's something that he can take home to his team.
Oh, yes. And at 4th is Ian Rosales and Alain Alzona on 5th. Now, these people all the way till 6th, which is Julia de los Angeles, I think they get points.
Yes, all the way up until 10th.
Oh, all the way up till 10th. So this whole batch gets points. So on 7th is Fabio Ide, and on 8th is Daniel Matsunaga. And every point counts.
Every point counts, but did you see how close the Japanese were to each other? The two Brazilian-Japanese competitors were side by side when they crossed that line.
Yep.
And very, very, very close. But in the end, it was Fabio that just took over from Daniel Matsunaga.
Yeah, it's 2/10 of a second, 2/10 of a second close. Okay, that's faster than blinking an eye. And if you think about it, those boys are close on the track and off the track.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're like brothers, those two. And but you know what? There's no friends at the racetrack. Well, not at 180 kilometers an hour. Maybe when you get to the back of the paddock you are, but not when you're flat out down the last straight. Nah.
As soon as those red lights go out, the gloves are off. There, as you can see, you see some bromance and some sportsmanship right there. Obviously, it's been an intense race, and during the cool down lap, a lot of them actually go side by side and talk to each other and, like, you know, congratulate each other, and that's what's great about racing. You could be at each other's throats within those 12 laps, trying to overtake, walang kila-kilala dito. But as soon as you hit that checkered flag, that sportsmanship just goes back up, and you want to talk to the people, and you share that. You share the wins, you share the grievances and everything. And there's just this mutual respect, because to be able to race at this speed, you have to respect the person in front of you and know that he's not gonna break in the middle of
Yeah.
the track and cause chaos.
Yeah.
Right?
Trust.
Yes.
You develop trust. So you're absolutely right with the way you share this moment, and there's a respect just being at this level already. And then, like you said, the trust that you have to give, whether you like the person or not, it doesn't really matter, because that trust is your life is sometimes literally in their hands. Because if they brake check you,
Yeah.
or if they just ram you off into the wrong spot, and the fact that they don't do that earns respect. Okay, so let's. The cars are pulling back in. We are going to at some point be checking in with our trackside reporters. There's Jut over there, and we might even get to speak to our crowd side reporter as well,
With
Kuya
Darbs.
Darbs. But in the meantime, let's take a look at some of the highlight videos of some of the action of the last race. This is what we meant. Car number 18 is Jaron. You see him on the outside.
Yes.
There's nowhere for him to go unless, now he's behind. He can't tuck in behind car 7, so he's just got to wait for that train to pass, and that's got to be so heartbreaking, and that's why he lost 4 positions there.
Yeah, and it's tough, because you could squeeze yourself in, especially when
Like
they
here,
squeeze
he
you.
squeezed himself
Yeah.
in because there was a gap. That's what we're talking about. If there's no gap in first corner, first start of the race, there's never a gap.
And they could close the apex on you also. And if you only have 2 choices, either go to the grass. Oh no, go to the 3 choices. Go to the grass, brake, or just make room and ram yourself in, and pray to God that no one hits you. They avoid you as well, which is pretty tough given that scenario.
Yes, it is, absolutely. But look, at the end, look at this. Let's just take a look at this last portion
Ooh,
here.
there was a
was.
little bit of contact.
Yeah,
All
sneaky,
right.
sneaky. We thought we were giving the benefit of the doubt as a camera angle, but that is car 69. Oh well, that was against Danielle.
Yes.
Yeah, Matsunaga. And that Danielle
Yeah.
and these bumpers.
His sweet, sweet bumpers.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well.
Yeah, it's tough with things like that. You don't know, and like what we said, these people are pushing themselves to the limit. You never know when something like that's gonna happen. It's so easy, because you're literally trying to get close to the car in front of you as much as possible, or stay away. So that's like within an inch or 2 sometimes, and it's just so easy to kiss the car in front of you.
And sometimes it's very deliberate too. It's not hard enough to get a penalty, but they're just like, look, you blink and I'm gonna take over, right?
Yep.
You cannot breathe.
Yeah.
And that's part of the pressure that they're applying as well to you. But
That does get a bit tricky though, because the thing is, with these contacts, you think like, oh, okay, he did contact, so it's gonna be a little tough. But each time you do contact, especially if you're the one bumping the person using your front, you have a chance to puncture your radiator. And as soon as that gets punctured, or even the alignment of your car, and as soon as that does, the drive goes different. Or if you puncture your radiator, that's it. Your car starts overheating, and you're gone for the rest of the race.
and that is, that's literally the worst thing that can happen, because at the moment, as I said, you can score points with almost at least in the last grid, all drivers were able to score a point, but if you are DNF, there's nothing, right? So, and especially if you're coming in where every driver's scoring a point and you're DNFing, you're gonna have a really hard time catching up. And that's where you have to think of a championship all the time. And that's what makes it it brings out the maturity, because it tells you when to be aggressive and when to be passive and when to sort of hold back and when to make your move.
Yes, as I mentioned before, it may sound a bit ironic, but for to be a good racer, patience is key.
Which
And
is almost like a contradiction, isn't it?
mhm.
Because you're like, I mean, if you don't race, you'll be thinking, no. I mean, the faster you go, you should be always no. You have to go slow to go fast. It's one of those really hard things to understand when you first go racing, and you have to be patient to be able to be quick, because you have to be able to know your moves. And
Yes.
making it at the wrong time, and it's all over.
Yeah, it's a big Mr. Miyagi-san, like a wax on, wax off type of thing. Wherein, a lot of like looking at it from outside, an outside perspective. It's so easy to say, oh, it's just chaos, it's just adrenaline, it's just like go go go, speed speed speed. But yes, you do have the chaos, you do have the adrenaline, you are like pushing it over the edge, 110%. But amidst all that, you have to kind of like center, meditate, pause, and know what you're doing, and like a hyperdrive type of thing. So there is a lot of polarities that go into play. But it's something that you have to experience to understand. And when it does and it all clicks in, it feels like you're dancing with the car.
That's it.
You understand the car, you understand the turns. Because in the beginning, when you're learning a new track, it always feels so rough. It's like, oh, I'm turning like in like 4 different ways in one turn or something. Then everything starts smoothing out. Then after that, it's like it's just this rhythm with you in the car, and it's this beautiful dance.
I love the way you put that. And let's find out from the dancers themselves. Let's turn over to Jut and hear from the drivers. Jut!
All right, James, Gabby, it feels like deja vu. It feels like we did this already, seeing car number 66 come in first. Jay, it came from you earlier. They called you what? Before?
DQ King.
Well, who's calling you that now? Back-to-back wins.
Thank you. Now I know why they're trying to call me DQ King.
It was all for motivation, huh?
Yes, I guess so.
Talk to me
Thank
about
you.
how you're feeling
course,
right
I-
now.
Feels really good. Like I said, we had a lot of misfortune during the past races. But I would like to thank our coach, our staff, our Oyi, and also happy birthday to Bjorn. This is for you. And to OTR and to the crew. Thank you. It's a wonderful race.
What was it about today? Did you wake up just feeling so good? What was it?
So I have a routine, but I can't say it on TV.
All right, well, we'll leave Jay with that secret, but
Thank you very much.
congratulations. And we turn over to the man who just a while ago promised that he's going to be one of the first cars in. And Alan, you lived up to that promise.
Shit, it was really hard. I started last. I had penalized in the last race, and I started last. Thanks to Jay, he showed me a couple of good lines. Jay, I love you, bro.
And you also were playing with Dan Matsunaga earlier. Saying
Yeah.
You were begging him. Well,
I was begging Dan to just give me the 3rd place, and Dan was like, "No, I need this, man."
well, you took it this time.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Alan.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
maybe a shout out to all your supporters.
Shout out to all the supporters in Cebu City and Iloilo City, everybody. Iloilo, yeah. I got
Everyone.
Jaron here, my teammate.
There you go. And Alan celebrating a win that's going to be celebrated by all your
I have
kababayas,
to
all
make
your
a shout out
teammates.
before my wife
Go
kills me. huh?
ahead. Go ahead.
I love you, Blue, Frankie, and AJ, who's my son who's with me, and all everybody in Iloilo City watching. I love you all. Thank you. My crew, my team.
Congratulations, Alan. I'm going
Thank
to
you.
talk to your teammate now. Jaron, congratulations. Professional double podium for you and your team. Talk to me about being on the podium this time.
Wow, first Vios Cup weekend and I'm on the podium. Can't be any more happier.
What was the work that as much as you can describe, the work that you had to put in for this finish that you got?
My start wasn't the best, fell down a few paces, but was able to defend. It was really hard defending. But I kept it up to the end of the race and we're in the podium, me and my teammate Alan.
I think this could be a sign of things to come for you, huh?
Hopefully.
All right, Jaron, congratulations.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing more of you at the podium. Turning it back now to James and Gabby.
First time here.
Wow. Yeah, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to see more of him. races to
Definitely.
come.
Especially after, I'm sure, once he gets back to his team, he's going to be looking at that first mistake that he made in first corner. And if he didn't lose those 4 spots, he could have probably been in, who knows, first or second.
Yeah.
So let's check out the starting grid of the, this is the sporting class. No, this is a super sporting class. And we've got race number 6, Lord Seno in first position, Brian Ko in second, Red Diwa in third.
Yes. So I think this is the sporting class.
Yes, you are right.
Yes. Yeah, that's sorry. We've been having a bit of a mix-up right now.
It's a combination of the sporting and the
Oh,
super sport.
that's
This explains,
why. Okay.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
so I was like counting the cars. It explains that it's a
The big
combined grid.
All right.
Because I
this
was
is gonna
seeing
make
names,
it
I was going,
interesting, huh?
wow, did he get demoted? No, he didn't. Nobody got demoted. Lord Senos in first, Brian Co second, Red Diwa third, Jared Loy fourth, Inigo Anton in fifth, John Dees on sixth. You want to take the
Oh,
rest?
that's why. Yeah. Okay, 6th. Okay. At number 7, Russell Cabrera. 8th, Troy Montero. 9, Myla Alivia. 10th, Miguel Quinones. 11th, Roy Sarmiento. 12th, Giro Garbes. 13th, Daryl Garbes. 14th, Joaquin Garrido. And 15th, Daryl De Leon.
So
Okay.
they're doing their warm-up right now, formation lap, and this means that we will have time, thankfully, because we were trying to do the timing, going, how we got to do 2 super sporting classes. No, we don't.
Actually, that's why I was wondering also. It's like, I remember Gerald Loy is in Super Sporting.
Yes,
And
yes.
and Red Diwa and Brian actually. And so I was like, what? Wait, they're in Sporting now? What's happening? Okay, it explains a lot. Sorry for the confusion, ladies and gentlemen. So Sporting and Super Sporting for this race is in a double grid, which kind of makes it a lot more interesting, because over here with this double grid, I don't think they're dividing it into 2 different places. I think it's literally whatever you qualify or whatever you win with, that's where it is.
Yes, but you will be, basically your points will go to the respective classes, so you will get an award for, let's say if Troy wins, comes in, let's say 5th place, but he's ahead of everyone else in the sporting class, then he wins that for sure.
Yes.
So there still will be a split with that, but what you're saying is if where you finished in the race, it doesn't matter what class you're in, that's the category we follow in terms of the starting grid,
Yes.
which makes a lot of sense.
You know what? I will try to get the list of people for sporting class. to
You
make
do
it more
that because the sun is now coming right on our backs over here. We're coming to a very backlit time of the day. This is going to be very exciting, but this is the final race of the day. So this will definitely be a really exciting one. And there are 2 categories here where people will be fighting it out in the sporting and super sporting class. So we hope we've cleared that up for you, for those who were expecting the a different race. This explains that. They have put the grid together and we're racing at the same time. So, okay, so yes, exactly. So Troy, Red Diwa, in the super sporting class, it is Lord Seno, Red Diwa, Inigo Anton, Gerald Loy, and Daryl Taylor. Oh, Daryl's not here today, though. John Dees on Brian Ko.
You know what? It looks like Troy Montero is in first in his class.
Yes, it does, actually, unless Cabrera is there. I think Cabrera's right
Cabrera.
ahead of him.
Okay, so Russell Cabrera, which is in 7th, is technically in first place of the sporting class, followed by Troy Montero. And 3rd is Myla Alivia. Yes, way to go!
All right, so now
Girl power.
Yes, and we've got double girl power here with, well, they're not the only 2 girls, but 2
Yes.
on fighting for the podium, like Julia de Los Angeles, what was 2nd place in the
Oh,
first
yes.
race, right?
Yeah, she did an amazing job
Yeah,
back
and
then.
she climbed to that 2nd place too. She didn't inherit anything. She really fought her way through for that. So good job to her. All right, well now that's a breath of fresh air. I guess we got that all cleared up, and it makes a lot more sense now as they come in for the official race. They're now heading down the final corner, and they will be into their positions here, and then it's going to be when the 5 lights go out, it's going to be all over. If you just joined us, the sequence is you don't wait for a green light, you wait for 5 red lights to go out, and that is game on. We're waiting for a green flag from the the officials, but once they are all into their positions and they've already checked the track, so it's all systems go from here. Once that green flag gets waved at the back there, it shows that they are ready to race. We wait for the 5 red lights to illuminate and then go off. And then it's racing time, Gab.
Yes. So this is where it gets interesting because these racers are a lot more seasoned than the promotional class. As we mentioned before, promotional class is at the very beginning. This is a combination of sporting and super sporting class. So the way they attack the takeoff would be different.
Yes,
Okay.
and the fact that they're being mixed up in a grid, it also is very interesting because sometimes you get people in the class lower overtaking the people in the class higher. Happens all the time. So, you know, you've got different skill levels here.
And you see the marshal waving the green flag and the red lights are on.
Now, will Lord Seno be able to close that gap? Look, he's already angling his car. He's already closing that door, and that's how you do it. He wants to get ahead. He needs to make sure that he closes that door onto Brian Ko, who will have that position on the inside. And we already showed you what happens if you leave that, if you stay on the outside and you're not a car length ahead, you're going to have some serious problems, but not with Lord Seno. Lord Seno's been able to hold that one, and what a beautiful job he did. And it looks like the one that's on the outside might be John Dizon. John Dizon, I think, is trying to have some kind of kamikaze move from the outside there, but if anyone can do it, it's John Dizon. This guy is a very, very talented and quick driver. Let's see where he ended up for that little effort. He went all the way around the outside, and did he make it stick?
Well, he's in 4th right now, so it looks like he bumped up 2 places. Because, you know, everyone was taking it really tight, not just a little tight. They were taking it really tight. Then you see John Dizon all the way out. All the way out at the racing line. He's like, I'm gunning for this.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm going to go all the way out until I get the inside line, which is on the next corner, which you have to come down into a very tight left-hander to be able to have the inside line out. But if he got these 2 positions, he showed what we were talking about. It can be done.
Yes.
But he wasn't in the lead, and that's crucial to mention. He wasn't in the lead when that happened, so he had a lot less to risk by doing that than if you were in the lead and stayed on the outside.
Whew. As you can see, you know, always there are a lot of action that happens in the first race. Ooh, did he go down 2 marks?
Brian Ko having a very good look down the outside, actually, of Lord Seno. He's now on the inside.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh!
Let's see a little bit of... Oh, is there bumping right there? Oh, wow, that is intense. And this time, when you're going out at the back straight like that... Oh, no.
No, it looks like Lord...
Oh! John Dizon is forcing his way in. Wow, way to go.
Wait, that's Brian.
No, wait,
yeah,
that's
Inigo
Inigo.
Anton. Inigo Anton.
That is Inigo Anton
Young
in 2nd.
Gun Anton. What a sneaky move, and I mean that as a compliment. A nice, nothing derogatory there. That was smooth and sneaky. Didn't see it coming.
Wow.
And now, boom, out of nowhere, we got Inigo Anton in 2nd place. And look, there's some chaos happening in the back there with Red Dia, Gerard Loy, and Lord Seno. It is all on for young and old, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Vios Cup 2022 as we head to the first corner. And this is the final race of leg number 2.
Whew. Okay, you know that Inigo Anton may be in 2nd, but Red Diwa is breathing down his neck right now.
You know, he's got the most appropriate name for that. Inigo.
Inigo.
Where'd he
Literally,
go? Where'd he go? Inigo. All right. Well, yeah, he just slid that in, and in he went. In he goed. All right. That was very smooth because I didn't see that coming at all. Much less, I'm sure the other drivers were also looking out for something else, and before they knew it, boom, he just appeared there and slotted himself in 2nd place. He's definitely eyeing that 1st place of Brian Ko, but Brian Ko also got to give that guy credit. That was a very, very smooth maneuver that he pulled also on Red Diwa.
You know,
Lord Seno, should I say, Lord?
You really just have to take advantage because, like, the first lap, second lap is when everyone's all bunched in. And if you do want to gain ground and, like, overtake people, that's the time to do it. Just as long as you're confident within yourself and you basically have the bravado to do so. And it looked like it really worked out for Inigo, because as soon as people start settling back in and getting their groove on, there's gonna form gaps, and when you form gaps, it's gonna be a lot harder to overtake other people.
Now, Inigo Anton, I'm trying to flash back to the last race. He did not podium, did he? Did he podium?
I don't think so.
So this means he's not carrying any weight.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an
Yeah,
advantage
that's
for him.
also a big factor with that.
Yes, and I think so. It's hard to without our little código here to see who's carrying what kind of weight. But look at that! Oh!
Forcing him on the outside, right there. On the double A. Wow.
And I can hear the cheers and
Yep.
claps because we're right over
He wants
pit.
this one.
He does, and so does his team. Obviously, you can hear them screaming and shouting over there, and rightfully so. This is a very exciting race right now. 5 minutes only have gone by. Do you know that?
5
We're
minutes.
just 5 minutes
wow.
into this race.
Yeah, there's like two laps in, and we're Red just overtook Inigo.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Things are getting interesting, and right behind Red is John Dizon.
Oh, this is gonna get very.
behind, breathing
Watch
down.
this! Wait, watch this!
Inigo's
Watch
down.
this! Oh my gosh!
Yup,
Oh,
he's
go!
not gonna let it easily.
Oh, look
Though
at
Red
this!
is in the inside lane.
John!
And
he goes on the outside.
look at John just snaking through.
And now it's now John. I can't watch anymore.
Wow.
John Dizon slips by, but it's not over yet. They're side by side, coming into the corner. Inigo loses a spot to John Dizon, and that was classy driving from all of those drivers, all of them. Wow, hats off. Exciting stuff. Now John Dizon's gonna have a little look down at Red Diwa as well. But Inigo Anton is there in 4th place from 2nd. It just happened that quickly.
Oh, wow. In a split of a second. Way to go, taking advantage of that spot for John Dizon. That's a tricky move.
Very, very. Look, you gotta.
Oh. And speaking of, look at number 45 slipstreaming right over there.
45.
That's Miguel Quinones and I guess Troy Montero. He's trying to overtake Troy right now.
Wow, that was a really exciting sequence of overtaking maneuvers that we just witnessed there. John Dizon, hell of a move there on Inigo Anton. Inigo and John showing a lot of respect. These guys are very young drivers, and they're driving like absolute veterans right now, at least especially in terms of not just skill, but also in terms of maturity and the way that they just the respect that they have for one another.
Yes. And let's take into account Gerald Loy as well. He is right behind Inigo Anton. That guy is another veteran. He's just whiling away his time. He's just like, okay, do your thing. I wouldn't be surprised, within the next, 2-3 laps that he makes his move.
Yeah, absolutely. So watch this space because it is going to be tightly contested all the way to the checkered flag. I can guarantee you that. Brian Coe does seem to have a pretty decent lead of about 0.947. It's almost a second ahead, almost, but that's just not enough breathing room to be able to relax and just drive your own race. He's going to be constantly checking his rear view mirrors. He might be driving a slightly defensive line as well, but look at Jared Lloyd trying to have a look down the inside of Inigo Anton.
Look at it. The first 5 basically are within the same second of each other. And that's how intense this racing is. Now with Brian Coe, even though he's less than a second ahead of everyone else, when you're in front, you still get that clean air. And if you're in front enough, you don't need to be defensive with stuff like that. And all you're doing is wishing for Red, John Dizon, Inigo, Gerald Lloyd to be like dicing it against each other, because the more they dice against each other, the slower they are. Because the more they'll have to do defensive lines, the more they'll have to switch places and stuff like that. And that's what Brian Coe is wishing right now, stay off my back and let me race.
Yes, and let me just remind everybody something about John Dizon over there. He's driving with a full ballast because he won the race handily last race by 12 seconds. So he's carrying the full ballast there, and he's still there fighting for 2nd place. He's in 3rd right now. Oh!
Yeah, that medyo bitin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's beautiful racing for this top 5 drivers. They're keeping us at the edge of our seats, and they're relentless, as you can see. They're not letting off. There's no time to breathe. There's no time to second. Because as soon as you give that small gap, or as soon as you make that minuscule mistake, the guy behind you will just get at you.
I love that drone shot, by the way. It's adds so much to the racing here, because it just goes to show you also how close they are. It's a beautiful angle. And here we are looking at the snake that's forming here.
Yeah, it reminds me of those Nokia games, right?
Yes, yes, the Snake and Snake 2. Showing our age, are we now, Gab?
I know, I know, like, people play that. I heard of it. With that Apple, I think?
No, it was a Nokia 7110. It came out in the Matrix. Don't lie. I know you know these things. It had 4 lines of the LCD display, which is groundbreaking at the time. And now we watch videos on our phone. But anyway, check this out. Red Diwa on the outside. This is not major because he's still in control. He's on the outside, but it's just to be able to have a better line in. It's not necessarily trying to overtake. He's just trying to get quick over there, but he's not leaving himself. Oh, I was going to say he's not leaving himself open, but almost. John Deason. Oh, wait, I think Inigo Anton had a bit of a, he got a little bit closer there.
Yes.
And he has an opportunity here to dart down the inside. Watch this. He's right there. Keep the
thing is,
camera angle on.
It's a little tough because Inigo a while ago was ahead of the guy in front. Ooh.
He's okay. He's boxing out Jared Loy. But yeah, so he's able to defend from Jared Loy, but he was after John Deason with that move.
Yeah, and it was hard because he was tailing John Deason.
Jared Loy's on the inside.
Oh, and someone went wide there as well. Oh, I wish we could put it back.
Myla Eliva and car number 21, Giro Garbis. Oh no.
Ooh,
Car number
it could be a 3-way battle right there. Ooh. Though Myla has the advantage because she had a better exit and she is in the inside lane coming into Akasha.
Is it enough though? Is it enough? Is it enough? Because now they're coming into, okay, now we've changed camera angles. So we're back. It's Inigo Anton right behind John Deason. But he was able to fend off from Gerard Loy. Brian Ko is now feeling the heat from Red Diwa. I think that gap is closer than it was before.
Yeah,
we'll
it's
see.
half a second.
Yes,
right
it's
now.
half a second. Let's see what it is when they cross the line. Looks like it's closer now than half a second for sure.
Ooh.
Guard 76, that's Daryl Garbis. And I think he's up against Joaquin Garrido, if I'm not mistaken, or is that Troy Montero?
Oh, and did you see that? I wasn't able to get the number, but one of the cars actually don't have their side mirrors anymore. Number 73, that's Myla. Myla Olivia. That's how close she was been racing with, unless she like put both in, but she doesn't have her both side mirrors have been folded, either by going against people side by side. This is how intense this race gets.
It is pretty intense right now. And the gap to the front right now, remember, was 0.5 something, now it's 0.4. John Deason and was that Inigo?
No, I don't think it was Inigo.
John Deason and
was it Red?
Red Diwa.
Red Diwa and John Deason.
Out of the race, Red Diwa and John Deason collide.
Heartbreaking right there.
Oh, this is heartbreaking indeed, but this is good news for, well, who is the biggest winner here? I think it is going to be Inigo right now.
Inigo, Gerald
Loy. Wow, wow. Let's take a replay of that if we can. But, John's still out there. He's still out there. His car's still running. Oh, wow. I don't know.
Even number 45. Okay, Miguel Quinones had a bit of a spin out right over there. Whew, so much action.
Too much action right now. Too much action for one day.
And that's a really high-speed corner. That's on the way up to from the first corner. And when you take that from fourth, I don't know if with the Vios Cup guys, but you take that pretty much flat out going up because you need the momentum. And that's one of the most high-speed corners over here.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm
Wow.
gutted. I'm gutted for Red Diwa and well, even
And
John
John,
Dizon.
yes.
Because that was obviously, I mean, it's obviously unintentional. We haven't seen the footage. We haven't seen exactly what happened, but you know, there's no incentive for either driver to do something like, you know, do anything intentional. So it's obviously just some kind of racing incident. But the marshals would be
there.
looking. Yeah, but we
Ooh.
caught the tail end of that, so we really.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
from
we
that
don't
angle,
know.
it does look pretty bad, but we have no idea how that spin happened or how. Was it contact? Did he spin slightly on his own? Well, I'm sure the stewards will be looking at that very, very closely. And John Dizon there is going to obviously, well, we don't know. We
Yeah.
really, at this point, it's not even
Yeah,
fair to speculate.
It's not up to us. Well, what's good about these cars is all of them have GoPros, both front and back, and the stewards will be able to review what happened. And it's not just with like the people concerned with the incident, even the people around it as well, the people behind him. So with John Dizon, that would probably be Gerald Loy or like Inigo Anton who would have footages of that. So they could pretty much see all the angles before they make their decision.
So, am I right in saying it happened at the exit of turn 1? Is that right?
Yes.
Because that's I'm trying to
Yes.
picture from the camera angle.
Mid corner actually of turn.
Okay, so
turn
where the
one.
cars are going down the corkscrew. So
Yeah.
yes, it's like depends on where you count. You count the first corner to be this first. one. Some people take it as one corner, one
yeah,
big long
I
corner.
take it as one long
big corner. So I don't know if you call it turn 2, but
Yeah. So yeah, it's heartbreaking indeed. Especially it's gonna be the last race. They were doing so well as well. Yeah, you know what? But that's racing. You know, we're only 6 laps in. We have half of the race to go. So much action has happened, and even with that, Brian Ko. Yeah, you'd think there's be a big lead, but no, Brian is just a little more than a second ahead of Inigo. It's still anyone's race, and Gerald Loy is a second behind Inigo. So like the 1, 2, 3, I wouldn't be able to say that this is what you'll see at the finish line.
yes, absolutely no telling. And if I was a betting man right now, I wouldn't know what to bet on.
Yeah.
Because what I've seen today, anything's possible. Anything's
Yes.
possible. And I mean, you know, it was a pretty safe bet that Red Diwa was going to be on that podium, and we didn't see that coming either. And that was tragic for him or for his championship because, you know, in second place down to losing all those points as well. And well, at least John Dizon's still running on the track, and that car looks like it's potentially, you know, could be one of those black and orange flags as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's in a pretty tricky place. But moving to sporting class, Russell Cabrera is actually running first. So it's Russell Cabrera in first, Giro Garbes in second, and Joaquin Garrido in third.
But here's the amazing part is John Dizon still running fourth. Oh, there's a cat.
Oh! Oh, that's so bad. You know, that's what's when things like this happen. I've had cows
In BRC.
in Subic,
Okay.
and I've had eagles drop down, Maya birds. You get a flurry of animals as well. You think it's just like debris of like cars and car parts? No, you get wildlife
Oh, look,
as well.
there's a safety car.
Oh, all right. I don't know what the safety car is for though. Maybe it was Red Diwa's.
It
I
could
don't
be
think
that.
his car was able to get out, and if his car wasn't able to get out,
It's
Red Diwa's in a
Precarious
precarious position.
It's either
being over
that
there.
or it's because there's a feline on the racing line.
That could be it. I bet myself on the feline. Someone's like carrying that cat. It's like, hey, hey,
Well-
pretty gutsy for a cat though. Like being at the center of everything, seeing those cars and those engines aren't you know quiet at all.
Well, you know what they say about curiosity in the cat, right? So let's just hope this cat's not that curious and just steps back a little bit. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was, well, you know what? In a way, I know this sounds selfish, of course, don't mean it to, but I could use the break.
And you know what? I could use it to stare at that Supra.
Yes,
Man, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the 86 do the parade here, but we did see it earlier.
Yes.
But you know, but just to see because it's a newer. The Supra, of course, is the supercar right now of Toyota, so it makes a lot of sense to make that as a safety car. But the 86 is just about to be launched, and we did see that earlier on. And if you can also get to see it, if you are in the track right now and you haven't, they have a GR booth over there. You can check that and the Yaris. But look at how aggressive that rear end is.
Oh, yes. You know, it's very aggressive. It reminds me of one of those European sports cars.
Yes, or there's almost like Batmobile vibes to it.
Oh, yes, it is.
The
You know,
rear?
just paint it black and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's
signal.
got that very aggressive, you know,
Yes.
sort of teardrop. I don't know how to describe that. The way it leaks down on the sides there, it looks like it's just part. It looks like not even a Batman car, but one of the villains in Batman. And I'm
It
saying
could
this as
be.
a compliment because it means it's a really badass car.
Yeah, it really makes its mark. And if you think about it, Supra ever since, I mean, when it first came out, also 20 years, 30 years.
Oh yeah,
ago,
what
like
the
that.
80s?
Yeah.
The first
And
Supras
y-
I remember in the 80s.
You know what? It was already the way they designed that was it was an league on its own. You know, it was so different from everything else. And that was fascinating. Oh, we see a bit of an ambulance right there. I hope it's just precaution.
Yeah, well, it is a high-speed portion of the track. So I mean, you know, as we always keep saying, there's no Toyota never take any chances with safety. So just being sure, that's all, and making sure that it's also out of the way there.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with John Dizon.
Oh.
He was already in the middle of a spin when John
Yes.
Dizon hit him. So John Dizon was just as much of a victim there as Red was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see exactly, but
Yeah, if we could go
one
a
more
little before that, so
Yeah.
that we could see the whole thing as it unfolds, it would be great.
yeah, if the highlight team can just put that again one more time, it's very clear, at least on that angle that I saw. Here we go. See, it looks like it was a tangle between the two. We don't see how it started though, but we already see Red in a bit of a spin. He's trying to correct. John tries to go on the outside, but that's where he's spinning to. There's really nowhere for John Dizon to go.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was a bit of contact. It doesn't look like there was any contact with Brian Ko. Though the thing is with how it was with Red Diwa, it might have been a spin all on its own because he was like coming in hot, wherein he had to correct, wherein it fishtailed a bit, and John Dizon just got the the unfortunate part of the stick, and you know, being forced to collide with Red.
Yeah, well, as we always keep saying, and we will say again, we are not the stewards. We have no influence over the stewards, etc. But I think based on what we've seen, and ours not being the official results, it looks like John is in the clear there. And sad for him because he's lost spots. But hey, he's still in 4th position. Considering that was a very big incident,
Ooh.
that's a pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, and look at how aggressive these two drivers for second are driving.
And look at Inigo Anton. Oh, he's holding it on from Jared Loy.
Yes. And Gerald actually is he's a smooth operator, that guy. You think he's like steady, you think he's like, okay, he's not gonna overtake. When he makes his move, you're just gonna be surprised, and then boom,
Yeah.
he's there.
And yeah, that's why we all have all different. I mean, and what I love to see is the age differences here in the lineup. You got these young guns against some of these veterans as well.
I like the way he plays that.
Careful with choice of
All
words.
right, so this is 95 versus
Garbus
76.
and versus
Garbus and Russell Cabrera. So this is a battle for first place in the sporting class.
You're right about Jared Loy. He's just all over the back end of Inigo Anton. And, Inigo also has a tremendous amount of experience, way beyond these years at least. So let's see how he soaks up this pressure while also trying to chase down Brian Ko, who is again pulling out.
Whew. 63 versus 76. Wow. Joaquin and Daryl Garbes side by side, 2 abreast. And this is the tricky part when we saw a while ago. This is the Akasha.
Oh, it's 3 abreast. Look how close they are. He's going to stay on the outside there. Going to try and stay.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, he tried
Garbe-
to close it
Oh!
in. He tried to close it in on the outside, and it's just,
Oh, he's going to try, but it looks like he's stuck.
He's stuck. He's stuck. I don't think it's going to be hard to get him out of there.
Oh,
Wow, that hurts.
that hurts.
That hurts because that was a podium spot right there.
Yes, it was. It was too, right? For the sporting class. Wow. Yes, we almost tend to forget to remind people that there are 2 different categories being raced, 2 different grids, or 1 grid, should I say. You got super sporting and sporting, so we're going to get 2 race winners from this race, 2 second placers, 2 third placers, etc., etc.
And it looks like it's either Inigo is defending or he's making his move versus Brian Ko. I hope we could stay back on front.
Yes, let's try to get back there. It looks like Inigo's still holding
Defending.
on.
He's defending.
Jared's, okay, he's right there behind him. I thought he was going to go on the outside line and try and do a switch back, but there's just very little you can do in this sequence because it's very tight here, but he's going to, he had to look again.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
another opportunity here. It's not that, it's because you drop down to a second gear corner, but you
Yeah.
have to be very close because it's a sweeping turn.
And it gets pretty tricky because, like, if you're trying to slipstream and everything, if you have more of an advantage and you get stuck behind, you're gonna have to let off. And when you let off, that's negative momentum.
Yeah.
And that's negative momentum towards you. And no matter, even if you try to gain it back, it's very hard. So you're gonna lose a few tenths of a second right there.
Well, this is another opportunity for both Gerard and Inigo because they've got this hard braking corner we call Akasha corner, or that everybody calls Akasha corner over here. You're coming again from 4th gear. This is the back straight, so it's the second fastest portion of the track. A little bit of a kink, and then you drop into second, and it's a hard left.
Yes, it's a 90-degree left.
Very, very good opportunity to make a pass, but it also leads into a sequence of corners where we just saw Daryl Garbes flip over. Not flip, he didn't flip, he just...
Yeah.
Wait, John Dizon looks like John Dizon is out. According to our timing screens, John Dizon might have had to retire out of this race because he's...
Yeah, I think the hit was pretty bad.
Okay.
Especially, we were talking about punctures with the radiator. I wouldn't be surprised if something happened over there because it was a pretty bad T-bone with him not being able to move out of the way.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very difficult for him because as we could see, even though it's not an official position, we could see that it really didn't have anything to do with him. He was as much a victim in that incident as you can be. I mean, he tried to go around where there's nowhere to go, and he tried to avoid, but boom.
Yeah, it must be pretty frustrating also for Inigo Anton because Inigo is less than half a second behind Brian Ko, and he just wants to overtake, but Gerald Loy is not giving him the opportunity. He is just breathing down his back, trying to overtake Inigo. So Inigo can't really, focus in front, and he has to focus at the back as well. So it's sometimes it's harder because you don't know what to do.
Look at him now, though. Look at him now. He's got a real inside line here.
It's a very tight line.
Yeah, he's committed to this very defensive line. Is it enough to get alongside Brian Ko? He's really under tremendous pressure here from Gerard Loy.
Yeah, I think it's more like he's trying to get Gerald off his back more than trying to overtake Brian right now, and Brian knows it. That's why he's still on the racing line. He's still being comfortable like that, being strong.
And then we also have the battle for Cabrera, Olivia, and Garrido.
Yes.
Look at this battle here. This
It's
is for
pretty
first.
intense.
This
yes.
is for first place.
This is for first place.
So this, you know, it's hard to see because they're in the middle of the grid or they're running about 5th place. But this is first for their category, and look how tightly contested that is!
Oh!
I love it.
Wow.
Okay, we got car number 95. That's Cabrera. We got Maya Olivia in
73.
and then we've got Garrido in 63.
Ooh, 73. So Myla goes down to third.
Myla goes down to third, but she has an opportunity here to get
Yep.
alongside.
They're still pretty much side by side.
Nope, she's
Okay,
lost
when-
that so far.
Well, when you
Look
hit,
at
is
Inigo.
that the
Look how close
chicane?
Inigo is. Wow, we don't even know where to look anymore. We have 2 battles for first place happening at the same time in the same race. Oh,
Oh, Joaquin Garrido
Can't-
is out
you can't
of
write
the
a script.
running.
No, jeez. Joaquin Garrido just goes off, and there was a tangle with Myla Olivia, right?
Yes.
Okay, where this is action is coming too fast, too thick, too soon.
Wow.
1 lap to go. 1 lap to go.
With 1 lap to go, as I said, last couple of laps, now's the time to make your harakiri move.
Last lap, ladies and gentlemen.
It's crazy.
Last lap, Inigo Anton is fighting for the lead, and so is Jared Loy right behind him. But Brian Ko is still in the lead as they come down for the last lap. We just saw what happened there with Cabrera, Myla Olivia, and
Or they're gonna risk.
What?
Oh, wow. So it's 95 up at
Sarmiento.
first, and Russell Cabrera and Roy Sarmiento now. Okay, at least Myla is still up in the running. She's 73.
I
wow.
can't take this anymore.
That's crazy.
This is enough already if it was just one category, but
Oh,
we're
no.
2 categories racing for first, second, and third.
Oh,
Jared
wow.
Loy.
Okay. Ooh.
No!
95-27.
Cabrera versus
Roy.
Sarmiento.
Yes, Roy Sarmiento is being aggressive with this, and he has to be with 1 lap to go.
Come on!
You know,
Come
last
on!
couple of turns. Because when you hit the chicane, it's going to be very hard to overtake.
Absolutely, and Quinones is also out of nowhere. Is that Miguel Quinones in car number 45? Am I reading that right?
Let's see.
Now look at Inigo Anton. Okay, there is a bit of a
I
gap.
think there's a bit of a gap. I think they've already concentrated on, like, okay,
No.
let's give this to each
No,
other.
no, I don't think so. I don't think they do. I mean,
Well-
the gap might tell you otherwise, but I think in their head they're like,
Yeah,
this.
you're just like, "Ah."
Oh, this has been an epic
This
battle.
is intense.
Look, now they're bunched up again. They're bunched up again, Jared. Okay, look
Are
at
they
this.
gonna do
Come on.
something?
Oh, there was an accordion effect.
Last couple of turns, we're exiting the
No.
double A into the last corner.
We have the checkered flag out, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Will it be? It's first, second, third. It's Brian Ko in first place. And it's second place, Inigo Anton, followed by Jared Loy. What a race! What a
Yeah.
race! Wow! Wow!
What
And Giro
a race
Garbus.
indeed.
Wow! Wow! And look who wins. Is it Russell Cabrera?
Let
Is
us
it
see.
Russell Cabrera?
Let us see who makes it in first.
It is Russell Cabrera, Roy Sarmiento in second place, and Myla Olivia in third place. What a race. What a way to end leg number 2 of the TGR Vios Cup 2022.
What a race indeed.
Can we have a massive round of applause throughout the entire track, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, they can hear you. Come on, put your hands together. That was an epic race indeed. Wow. Wow.
Such an amazing battle from start to finish, man. I'm pretty much off my seat.
Start to finish in different categories. You couldn't keep up with the commentary. You couldn't keep up with the racing. You couldn't keep up with the cameras. You couldn't keep up with the screaming downstairs in the crowd. That was indeed one for the books, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, that is intense. That is intense indeed.
I need a break. I need a massage. I need some
Chamomile
ginger
tea?
Yeah, I was gonna say ginger and salabat for the screaming and the shouting and we were screaming on microphones and we could still hear us being drowned out by the screaming of the unamplified crowd downstairs. That's how excited everybody was, and for good reason, Gab.
Yeah,
For good reason.
Yes, definitely for a very good reason. Wow, they definitely gave us a run for their money. Wow, that was crazy.
We started off telling everybody you want to stick around for the final race because this is it. And nobody wants to leave the track. This is how you'll be remembered, right? Even if it's just for a month or so, a month and a half, you're only as good as your last race. You gotta either hold your head up high for the month and a half or sit there wallowing and wondering how you could have done better if you didn't win. So now, wow, they delivered. They really delivered. We were saying these guys are going to go at it, and boy, did they deliver.
Okay, so for the provisional ending between sporting class and super sporting class, in position number 1 is Brian Co, 2 Inigo Anton, 3 Gerald Loy, 4 Giro Garbes, 5 Russell Cabrera, 6 Roy Sarmiento, 7 Myla Alivia, 8 Lord Seno, 9 Troy Montero, 10 Joaquin Garrido, 11th Daryl Garbes, 12th John Dizon. Then we have Miguel Quinones, Red Diwa, and Daryl De Leon, sadly in DNF.
Wow. I need a break. I said I need like a weekend to recover from this.
Oh, yes. I just want to lounge around in the pool and just like, oh, wow.
Okay, you know what? Just for, we are all obviously going to be doing the awarding as well later on around for race number 6. But for now, let's find out what the driver's perspective is and the crowd perspective. Let's turn over to Kuya Darbs.
James, eventually, grabe ah. I think nobody can argue. This is the most exciting race on the 2 legs that we have. And hindi lang ako mag-share ng na-experience ko. I will be joined by the friends of
Anton.
Anton. What was the most exciting part ng race?
Actually, yung may dumaan na pusa, doon ako na-excite eh.
Oo, kasi huminto lahat eh.
Uminto lahat.
Ano, pasigaw lahat.
Kasi, di ba, dahil doon rin ata nag-restart, nagkaroon ng safety car. So, nagdikit-dikit ulit yung laban. So, naging exciting ulit.
Yes.
Ah,
So that's something na everybody was looking forward. May pusa. Anong nasa isip mo nung bakbakan na tapos biglang may ganong klaseng pangyayari? What were you thinking at that time? What's your name?
My name is Amber. So nung nakita ko yung pusa, naisip ko, pang ilang life niya na kaya yon.
Baka first niya pa lang, di ba? Kaya malakas yung loob niyang mag-cross doon. Brother Amber, who were you rooting for sa race na to?
We were rooting for Inigo Anton.
Inigo, super close. Super
Super
close.
close. Yeah.
I mean, I think by the end, he battled it out, but still,
Yeah.
it's second place.
Tight
Great
race.
stuff. Yeah, very tight race. Brother, what's your name?
Kyle, hi.
Kyle.
Yes.
Is your first time here?
Yes.
Bakit ka nandito?
Nandito kasi yung girlfriend ko, in-invite kami. At siya yung photographer ni Ashley kanina.
Saan? Ang daming may mga jowa dito ah. So, my friend, this is your first time.
Yes.
You experienced, I think, one of the best races we had so far.
Yes.
Can I expect you sa third leg?
Of course.
Okay.
Pupunta kami nun, kaming tatlo ulit.
Kayong
as usual.
mag-friends. And by the way, guys, if in case hindi pa kayo naka-visit doon sa booth, go ahead, visit. May oras pa tayo. Pwede nyo pang puntahan. And of course, yung mga passport tickets, you will get to have a chance. Exclusive merchandise from Gazoo Racing Vios Cup 2022. So, kayo, mga nanonood dyan, it's still your chance. Thank you very much, guys. Ha? Maraming salamat. Oh, bati kayo, kawaii.
Hi, Ma!
Oo, nasa TV ka na. At nasa cellphone. Of course, I'm gonna be joined by another friend here. What's your name, brother?
Red.
Red, grabe. Red,
yeah.
katukayong mo yung second place eh.
Oo nga, sayang eh. That was heartbreaking pero
It is what
yeah,
it is.
it is
Pero,
what it is.
I mean, brother Red,
Yeah.
this is your second time?
yeah, this is my second time.
So, on the first leg and the second leg, Okay, the opinion was mine earlier.
Yeah.
Pero ano sa tingin mo? Which one was the most exciting?
Actually, I'm really rooting for Brian ko eh.
So, Brian talaga.
Brian talaga. And I'm so happy that he won.
Yes.
For today. Congratulations, Brian ko.
Yes, congratulations, Sir Brian. Baka pwede nating puntahan mamaya si Sir Brian. And then
Kung sana, pwede ba?
Oo,
Pagpa-picture man lang at congratulate kay Sir Brian.
Sir Brian.
Baka naman, Sir Brian.
Baka naman. And, Red, will I expect you sa third leg?
For sure, 100%.
Okay, I'll see you there November. Guys, ha, kasi this is something that I want you to experience as well. Super yung adrenaline rush ko, ha.
Super.
And of course, I wanted to say my congratulations sa mga winners. And of course, sa lahat ng racers, you gave us something that we will never forget. Save the best for last. I think it is. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you very much, Kuya Darbs. And when they say save the best for last, we still have a last leg that we're up for.
Oh,
so,
yes.
I don't know if we can handle that, but why don't we hear now from the driver's point of view how exciting that was. And for that, we got to turn over to Judd. Judd, what you got there?
Thank you, James. We are here with Brian Ko, provisional first, and Gerard Loy, provisional third, for an insane race that we all enjoyed. We, of course, just hope that everyone is safe. The first thing actually that Gerard did when Brian entered this area after the race was ask if everything was good with him. So, you love that part of it. But Brian, I want to ask you, you were leading it for most of it, but so many things happening behind you. Were you even aware of it? Was it something that you had to make an effort not to mind too much?
I was always watching the rear so I could defend. So most of it at the back I could see from the mirrors, but I was just defending so I would not lose the position.
And then, of course, you were building on that advantage, and then Inigo and Don also here with us, and then the safety car comes. Everyone gets clamped together once again. Was there anything that, maybe a little bit of frustration kicking in or something?
No, actually, it was good that the safety car came out so I could rest a little.
Oh, yeah.
The race was intense, so it was nice.
All right, congratulations, Brian. I know you need to breathe a little bit. We'll let you rest. Thank you, Brian. All right, moving forward here now, we have professional second, Inigo Anton. Boy, what a race, Inigo.
What a race. I was up and down the grid the whole time in the super sporty class, and I'm just happy that I was able to be close to the top by the end of it.
I don't know. I know you guys are professionals, but I don't know how you guys stay so chill, because if you could hear the grandstand, the tent, the people up in the stands, everyone was just screaming, holding our breaths. For a driver, what kind of experience is it to have all those? We had cats, we had unfortunate crashes, we had a safety car come out. For a driver there, everything happening all together in the span of 25 minutes?
Yeah, it was definitely one of the more crazy races I've ever been in. In the first lap, I was up to P2, then I fell down to P5, I think, then back up to P2. So, in those moments, I just have to keep a cool head. I've been in those situations where you feel like you've lost so many positions and how are you going to get up? But, some things happen. Like we saw that unlucky incident with John and Red. These things happen, and, you just always have to keep a cool head, because if you keep if you keep building that pressure inside of you, it'll eventually crack and lead to mistakes. So for me, it was just about, we saw the crashes. I just wanted to stay in the race and keep it clean. And me, Red, and Gerard did a really exciting race, I would say, and we all finished safely.
Just one last question, Inigo, about that incident. That happened about a foot or two behind you. How are you able to stay composed and, just keep on with your race?
Well, it really tenses you up, and at times I would say it wakes you up even. that incidents happening, and it's a car crash that's happening. So you gotta really avoid and really take serious action. It's just the mental preparation that you have to go through. Going inside a race car, you always know the risk and challenges that are gonna happen. So you always gotta keep cool head, gotta keep it always serious, and never any bad mistakes or a lapse of concentration. So it's just always being in the zone and always keep pushing.
You definitely did a good job with the situation that you were in. Congratulations, Inigo.
Thank you.
All right, and of course, we have Gerard. Now, for Inigo, he's an experienced driver as well, albeit very young and promising. But for him, he said it was one of the crazier races he's been in. When I asked you earlier, you said you've been in crazier ones, Gerard.
Yung mga unang season, mas medyo wild pa dyan. So, mabait naman lahat ngayon. So, siguro may konting incident na nangyari kanina.
Pero for you, I asked Inigo, I guess I want to get maybe the perspective of a driver talaga when a lot of things happen in a race like that. What is yung necessary na gawin for a driver like to stay the course, stay focused?
Kailangan mentally prepared ka eh. Kasi anytime, split second talagang may mangyayari. So, kailangan focus lang din talaga.
Well, you definitely did a good job. I know you have a lot of supporters tuned in.
Ayun. I would like to say hi to Reese and Jello. Yun. Kasi lagi, pag ini-interview mo, tinatanong na bati ko sila, binabati.
Oh, yeah. Now is the time that you have to greet them. You guys should be proud of this man right here. Congratulations, Gerard. We'll see you later. And of course, such an incredible race that we saw. I know everyone who are tuned in, I hope you're entertained. And we promise you we're going to be bringing you more action. And it just gets better and better. We got the best or the fastest in race number 6 from the super sporting class. Let's call in from sporting class, Giro Garbis.
Hi.
Hey, Giro. How are you, man?
Is my mic working? I can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
We hear you. Okay. Giro, talk to us first about. I won't even ask a specific question. Talk to us about that race. How was that for you?
Oh my! I don't know where to start. There's so much that happened. Not throughout the whole weekend. Yesterday we had a really bad race. I think I took out 2 of my biggest competitors, and then earlier we got a DNF. It was a very unfortunate incident between me and Joaquin. I hit the wall pretty hard. I was sent directly to the ER after, but I had to get checked. I got the X-rays and the CT scan and everything. But they cleared me and they said there was nothing wrong. So
this was just earlier.
Yeah, this was race number 5.
Wow.
So 20 minutes before the race, the ER person comes into my room, says, "You have a race coming up. You're clear. You have to go." So we rushed all the way over here, and it wasn't even my car. I had to borrow it. It was our promotional car. That was my uncle's car. Thank you.
I thought we've heard all the craziness of this race. And
There's more, apparently. There's
you
more.
add your story, but how are you feeling after that race?
I'm really tired. I'm not sure which has the more damage, my body or my car. Last week, I even sprained my ankle, so I'm still recovering from that. There's bruises all over me, but that race was fun, and it just goes to show how safe these Vios cars are. And huge congratulations to the organizers, and thank you to all my sponsors.
Before I let you go,
Yeah.
Giro, a lot happened building up to this moment where you're here being interviewed. How rewarding is it to at least everything you went through, that sprain, that trip to the ER, the result of this race?
Very, very rewarding. I can't tell you how much I've dreamt of this moment just a few nights before the race weekend. We weren't lucky yesterday. We weren't lucky earlier, but it feels good to be back. We're in a fighting position in the standings, so I'm really, really happy to be seeing you and everyone here.
Oh, congratulations, Giro. Get a breather. You deserve it. I'm
No,
so
yeah,
sorry. Wow.
Yeah.
I really got nervous there. Take it easy, man.
Thanks.
All right, second place in sporting class. Let's call in provisional second and provisional third. Russell, go ahead and stay here for a bit. There you go. Let me ask you, about that race too. I feel like it has to be the question I ask everyone. How was that race for you? Because it was insane for all of us just watching it.
It was a really, really crazy race. I could see all of my competitors bunch up behind me, and I just did my best to defend my position, make sure I had a clean race, and yeah, kept my head down.
For you, was this one of the most eventful races that you've been a part of? Or is it number one on your list?
I feel like definitely this is number one, since considering it's my first Vios Cup round today.
That's right.
And yeah, it was a crazy race, really, really tight racing, and yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Do you feel that it's come to a point where racers are really trying their very best to score those points, as we near, of course, we're pretty much more than halfway towards the entire calendar of the Vios Cup?
Yeah, all of my competitors are really good, especially this guy, si Royce. I could see him in my rearview mirror. I was like, oh no, there's Royce, he's catching up. But yeah.
Russell, I know a lot of people supporting you. Maybe there are ones you want to greet right now.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to Toyota Team Cebu for this opportunity to represent them in the sporting class, and to the team, to my coaches, and to my parents. Thank you so much.
By the way, Alan and your teammates were really cheering you on while you were racing there. Go give them a hug, buddy.
Thank you, Tito Alan.
All right, we got now Royce. Royce, earlier you were standing on the podium already, but that wasn't enough for you. You really, really are trying to extract as many points as you can from this weekend.
But I only learned one thing exactly from this race. Patience is key. All I do was waited and made sure I finished the race.
Did you see everything that happened during that race? All the incidents, including the cat that had to cross in the middle of an intense race?
Yeah, I had perfect GoPro videos of it.
Follow whatever. Are you going to post it on whatever social media platform? You're going to want to see it again. But so what was your reaction? You know, it was intense without all those incidents, and then everything just added to the craziness, the intensity of the race.
Although I'm just happy that I made my sponsors proud and my family proud. Big thanks to Crypto Moon Trading and Zane Collection, and especially RMS Cars Racing.
3 races done for leg 2 of the TGR Vios Cup 2022. How would you assess your weekend so far here in Clark?
I'd say it was a great weekend and a successful one.
All right. Well, I think it's a reason to celebrate and rest. Congratulations, guys, Russell and Royce. Well, of course, we have a lot of things still to bring you. You saw the races already. You know what's coming next. It's going to be the awarding ceremony for the sporting class and the super sporting class. Also, the promotional class. We're going to name the winners. That's coming right up next.
The 2022 Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Cup is brought to you in cooperation with Bridgestone, Petron, together with our other sponsors, Brembo, Denso, OMP, Tuazon Racing, ABT, 3M, Rota, My Toyota Wallet, Kinto One.
The Vios Cup heads back to the Clark International Speedway this weekend, August 20. But before we get into all the excitement of what's coming up, let's take a look back in our rearview mirror to see what happened in the last leg. In the promotional class in race number 1, that was won by Julia de Los Angeles, Girl Power, from the Avengers Racing Team. In the sporting class, it was won by Joaquin Garrido, and he's from Toyota Autos Avengers Racing Team as well. And then the Garbus brothers, well, they were there in 2nd and 3rd place. But in super sporting class, which is the most hotly contested version of the Vios Cup, it was won by John Dizon. This young guy is making a lot of waves, also from the Avengers Racing Team. Then it was Inigo Anton. We call him Young Gun because he's also a very up-and-coming, very promising race car driver. And then in 3rd place, we had Daryl De Leon from Toyota Marilao. Into race number 2, it was led by Ian Rosales from Toyota Team Cebu, Alan Palacios also from Toyota Team Cebu in 2nd place, and Fabio Ide, who was promoted from the celebrity class into the promotional class, took 3rd spot there for the Toyota Gazoo Racing PH team. In the sporting class, we had race 2. It was won by, again, Joaquin Garrido, Avengers Racing Team, followed by Euro and Daryl Garbus, 2nd and 3rd place respectively. Super sporting class for race number 2, it was dominated by Gerard Lloyd, and that was a very awesome race. Right behind him was Red Diwa trying to get into that top spot, but just ran out of steam towards the end. And then it's that name again, Inigo Anton. Watch out for that young gun. He's going to be making waves in racing for sure. Also in race number 3 for the promotional class, it was won by Alain Alzona, Alan Palacios in second, Ian Rosales in third, and there's also Lechon all around because that's 2 from Team Cebu, and that's pretty great stuff. We had sporting class. Race number 3 was won by Troy Montero. Yes, another celebrity who was upgraded or promoted into the sporting class, and this guy won that race. It was fantastic. Roy Sarmiento took second place, while Joaquin Garrido took the third spot. Then it was over to super sporting, and here goes John Dizon again. This guy from the Avengers Racing team is making absolute headlines here in the paddock. Inigo Anton nipping right there at his heels from Toyota North EDSA, and Daryl De Leon in third place. And then of course we have our media autocross for promotional, which is won by Pablo Salapantan. And then we have our sporting media cross, which is won by Jan Lacuna. Promotional celebrity autocross, Benedict Kua won that one. And in the sporting celebrity autocross, it was Gino Illamor in first place. So that's where we all stand right now with the Vios Cup. Make sure you head to Clark International Speedway. Entrance is free. Everyone's welcome. It's a great family affair. And let's see how this all pans out. See you at the racetrack.
Imagine a life where mobility opens up roads to countless possibilities, where you and your loved ones experience the thrill and joy of moving together, where you get to enjoy the important things and not worry about the little things. This is life with Toyota. And now, you don't have to imagine. Your access to a new world of mobility has finally arrived. Get ready to elevate your life with the new My Toyota app. Available on Android and iOS, My Toyota now comes with added features to level up your driving experience, anytime, anywhere. By signing up with your personal My Toyota account, you're just a few clicks away from a wide range of useful tools. Want access to a Toyota showroom no matter where you are? With a virtual showroom, you can now explore Toyota's lineup on the go. You can even build your Toyota and find your perfect match. Book a service for your car's regular maintenance with so much ease and time saved. Or check your repair status right on your device. Do it in just a few taps. Adding accessories to your car? Simply add to cart with us to make sure you're getting the right one. See our range of available service packages and take your picks right away. You can even renew your insurance quickly for that added peace of mind. Want to trade in your car? You can inquire at your nearest dealer. You can even check listings of Toyota's certified used vehicles. Get in touch with your nearest Toyota dealership in just a few clicks. Encountered a problem on the way? Access our roadside emergency assistant and be connected with your service providers. Make payments easier by choosing from available payment options, and soon experience greater payment convenience with My Toyota Wallet. Stay on top of the latest promos, announcements, and other important reminders. Do all these and more with Toyota's one app for all the things you need to make car ownership and maintenance more convenient, easier, and more fulfilling. The new My Toyota app. Life with Toyota made happier in a tap. Download My Toyota app today. For more information, visit www.toyota.com.ph/mytoyota.
times you need to brave the roads. For this, you need engine protection. So that you spend less on car maintenance and more for your family. That's why we made Petron XES. It gives enhanced power, optimal fuel efficiency, and excellent engine protection. No wonder it's the most widely used gasoline in the country.
We know!
Petron XES, the fuel that knows you. Alam naming napapalaban ka sa layo ng binabiyahe mo.
Obstruction ahead. Reality.
Kaya namin ginawa ang Petron XCS. Nagbibigay ito ng enhanced power, optimal fuel efficiency, at excellent engine protection. Kaya ito ang most widely used gasoline in the country.
We know!
Petron XCS, the fuel that knows you. We know there are times you need to drive hard. That's why we made Petron XES. It gives enhanced power, optimal fuel efficiency, and excellent engine protection. No wonder it's the most widely used gasoline in the country.
We know!
Petron XES, the fuel that knows you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and boy, was that a race! Was that a race?
Does everyone agree with us? Come on, make some noise!
Parang they didn't all watch that race, because anyone that watched that race needs at least, 30 minutes to recover from that race.
Medyo namamaos na nga ako eh.
In fact, it was so good. Why don't we take a look at some of the highlights of the race, and we'll just walk you through, for those who didn't get to see it. It was absolutely phenomenal. We kind of compared it to being in a spin cycle of a washing machine because things were just happening so quick. Positions were being changed. There were accidents. There was highlights, lowlights. Everything you could want from a race and more happened in the last race,
Yes, and it wasn't just in one class. This was sporting and super sporting class, and it was for the top positions. First place, second place, third place. Grabe kakaiba. All the way to fifth. I didn't know where to look anymore.
Nobody knew where to look. The cameras couldn't keep up. We couldn't keep up. The crowds couldn't keep up. We were amplified on microphones, but we weren't as loud as the people who didn't have microphones. Everyone was screaming. Even the cats came out onto the racetrack.
They wanted to see the action.
They wanted to see.
Hi, grabe.
There was really a cat on the racetrack, if everyone saw that. It was willing to risk one of its 9 lives just to see what all the fuss is all about.
And because of that, the safety car came out. We still don't know. We still don't know if the safety car came out because of an incident or the actual cat.
I think it was the actual cat. I think we already established that because they did not take the car of Red Diwa out of the sand trap.
That is true.
So it's definitely to clear the track of the cat and just as well because we needed all that time just to be able to catch our own breath. So they're preparing for us right now some highlights. We're going to be awarding, of course, the earlier races today. So that's all coming up. So while we're doing that, We invite everybody to come down wherever you might be. I know you can hear us all throughout the racetrack. If you're in the third floor, second floor, maybe you're in the VIP area, come and join us here because this is what it's all about. This is what everybody pretty much comes for. It's the awarding, right? So they need you. Who are you supporting? Who? There's so many Garbes. There's so many.
Give a shout out to the Garbes
Team
family.
Garbes!
Woo! Maraming fans, maraming fans.
I think we should Barangay Garbes because ang dami nila, di ba?
Woo! Ramdam
Good
na
job,
ramdam.
guys. And you know that Giro had that incident earlier, and look, he finished in the next race. This Garbes family is really something to watch out for. So good job, guys. Okay, so we are just waiting right now for the results. But while we're waiting for the results, let's take a look back. Are we ready, by the way, with the highlights? Where's my floor director? Are we ready? Yes, we're ready.
Okay, we are ready with the highlights. Here's a look back on the 6th race.
We may have to put it in slow motion because everything just happened so fast.
Oh, yes.
This was
There's
Lord
a smiling bumper.
Okay, look at that. It's got a big...
Ooh. And that is what we call lightning.
That was just one of... I mean, that was, for me, I didn't even see that one happening. Okay, here we go,
Oh, okay. This was like a pretty intense incident between Red Diwa and John.
Oh, and as we can see there, it pretty much looks like, although it's not our job, pretty much looks like that the spin happened on its own, right? Had nothing to, it didn't seem like it had anything to do with Brian Ko. So Red Diwa seemed to have this spin on his own. John Dizon got collected with that and eventually had to retire from the race, or at least finish very low because of it. Then what you're looking at here is the battle for first place!
In sporting class. Ooh.
It's a Garbes!
Oh!
Oh, you see, how can you do it to this? Take that back. That was pretty intense. You know, that was heartbreaking, I'm sure. You know, the whole family's here to watch, and that happened. But, you know, this is racing for you. Nobody does this intentionally. And this is everyone's just battling for the win. And sometimes things like this do end up happening.
Oh, so that's what happened.
These are just some of the many incidents that happened in the last race alone. Remember, this is not a compilation of the entire weekend. This is just the last race alone.
Within the 12 laps.
And just remember, what we're showing you here too are the ones fighting for first, second, and third. So this is in the top 3. There's Brian Ko there in first place. There's Inigo Anton. Look how closely they are there, and Jared Loy in third place. That's how closely they finished. They were just within whiskers of each other.
Yeah, pretty much from start to finish.
That looks like the ending there of all of how it finished up for them. Look how closely they are. See? That was first, second, and third after 12 laps, and they were a hard-fought 12 laps too.
Man, I was at the edge of my seat the whole time.
Something tells me that I would love to give an award to each and every person that joined that race, including the cat, because it was just so intense that anyone that joined it deserves a trophy. Don't you agree, Gab?
Oh, yes, definitely. And speaking of trophies, we won't just award the podium finishers. We do have a special surprise with special awards later.
All right, special awards. We all love the special awards. It's been known here at the Vios Cup for many, many years now. Our gracious sponsors give out special awards, not just to reward the drivers, but also to acknowledge the certain things that they did. Like we have, well, we'll get to that in a little while.
Usually there's like a slingshot award. And speaking of awards, we have the first award coming right up, and it is by 3M.
Yes, we have 3 awards. We got the coolest racer, the Madiscarte racer, and the consistent racer of the day. We'll start first with the coolest racer of the day. This can be subjective, so please don't protest if it's not your family member that won. But this one goes to
none other than, drum roll please, John Dizon.
This is for the coolest racer award from one of our longtime sponsors, 3M, because 3M keeps you cool, diba? Ah, you see, that was smooth. That was a segue.
I like the way you
Because of the
snuck
tint,
that in,
diba? May
right?
tint, keeps you
yeah,
cool.
keeps it smooth.
Where is John Dizon?
Do we have a representative from 3M?
Okay, well, let's move on first to the next one, and maybe John Dizon might join us in just a little while. For somebody who's supposed to be very fast, he's really moving slow now. Sorry, John.
Wala na kasing mga gulong. Ito naman, Madiskarte Racer.
And that goes to Jan Lacuna.
Congratulations, Jan.
Do we have somebody from 3M to help us with the awards, or just... It's okay. Just hold it up there, and that is for the Madiskarte Award. Then we go to the Consistent Racer of the Day. The Consistent Racer of the Day for the influencers.
Yes, it is Benedict Kua. Benedict, please come up on stage.
Benedict Kua for the Consistent Racer Award. We have always talked about how important consistency is. You can be the quickest driver, but if you are inconsistent, chances are you ain't going to win a championship, so congratulations to you, Benedict. And now we move over to the special awards from AVT, and we are awarding the top performance in 3 different classes: a celebrity class, sporting class, and a super sporting class. Let's kick it off with the top performance from celebrity class. It's none other than Daniel Matsunaga!
Woohoo!
¿Dónde estás, Daniel? I don't know why I said that, because he's Brazilian and they don't speak Spanish in Brazil, but...
You know, in terms of geography, it's a little closer.
Yeah, well, it's closer.
It's a little close.
Where's Danielle? Danielle Matsunaga is our top performance, but if he's not here, we will skip to the next one because we are running out of light. We will move... Oh, what? No?
There
Hey!
he is! Woo! With
Better
some
late than
flashy
later.
shoes! Congratulations!
What is that? What is it?
Oh,
mabigat ka.
wow! You know, that's for weighing bumpers.
That's for weighing. We don't want to see that on Facebook Marketplace next week. Come on. May sponsor yan. Congratulations, Daniel Matsunaga. Now we move over to the sporting class, and it's the top performance from there. And this goes to...
Brian!
No!
Oh! Wait, sorry.
Miss Harvey?
I'm so sorry. I'm...
Troy!
Harvey moment.
Troy Montero!
None other than ang crush ng bayan, Troy Montero.
Come on, Troy. Before she calls you something else. You're welcome, man. Congratulations, Troy. That is for the top performance for the sporting class. And now we move over to the super sporting classes.
Ito na! Brian Ko!
Yes! Brian Ko, of course, our race winner in the most epic race we've had here in a long, long time in the Vios Cup. But Brian's probably just
there. He's taking a smooth walk to the stage.
You know what? Give the guy
there.
a break. Give the guy
Look
a break.
at
After
that
that performance, he can walk as slow as he likes because this man drives fast on the track when it counts. Good job, Brian. What a race, man. What a race.
May speech ba?
Okay, now we move over to the Brembo Special or Denso.
Okay, let us first go to the Denso Special Awards. Now, this gets serious. So this is for the fastest lap for promotional class, sporting, and super sporting class. So for the fastest lap of promotional class with 2 minutes, 28 seconds, 0.78, it is a female, Julia de Los Angeles.
Girl
Congratulations. Power. Give it up for some girl power right there.
Woohoo! Julia, of course, had an outstanding day today as well in the race, and now she's being properly awarded. But these are the special awards, and hopefully we can give her an award later on for the actual race in the promotional classes for fastest lap. Can't seem to see her, but
Okay, while we're waiting for Julia. Okay. Wow, there she is! Running towards the stage. Perfect entrance.
It's a good thing you showed up, Julia, because parang raffle to. If you didn't show up, would raffle off your fastest lap to somebody else.
Congrats.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Well-deserved win.
Next up, we have the fastest lap for the sporting class, and that was a 2-minute 27.412, and that goes to Miguel Quinones. Come on, Miguel, you have here he comes. It's like
there he is.
He's on a qualifying lap to get
Nakaano
here.
pa?
Make way for the guy, make way.
Loving the jacket. Congrats, congrats.
Which leaves us now with the third and final award for Denso Special Awards. It's for the fastest lap for the super sporting class.
2 minutes 24.242 is Red Diwa.
And of course, Red is Red here because he was one of, maybe not, because he is here. No,
is he there? You know, it was a bit heartbreaking for him.
Yeah.
But he got the fastest lap.
He did, but unfortunately, yes, his car was in the end, so we'll forgive him if he doesn't show up. We move to the Brembo Special Awards. This is for the Driver of the Day. And we're going to kick things off with the super sporting... No, let's kick it off with the promotional class. Driver of the Day for Brembo goes to Jay Lau. This is Mr. The former DQ King. You must retire the title
Awesome
DQ
day
King.
today. Wow.
You are now a double winner, and we move on to the Driver of the Day for the sporting class.
Russell Cabrera.
Good job, man. Taga Cebu ba yan? Cebu ba yan? Iloilo City, baby!
All right.
Okay, and now the Driver of the Day for the super sporting class. It's none other than Inigo Young Gun Anton.
Woo!
Inigo, of course, one of the cast of characters in that last epic battle. Thank you for your participation in that and for all of those heart-skipping beats that you gave us. These are for the special awards, Brembo's Drivers of the Day in their respective categories.
Yes, and we still have Drivers of the Day for the Autocross category that we are about to announce. So for the Autocross Influencer Advanced, we have Enzo Pineda.
Woo, woo.
Enzo Pineda. There he is, making his way up.
By the way, if you are one of the drivers, please make your way over here just in case you don't know if you won a special award or not. And we don't really want to have to wait around for you. So let's go to the second Driver of the Day award for the Autocross Influencer Beginner. And that goes to Girl Power Bianca Yao. Congratulations, Bianca. Okay,
Nice.
next up.
Okay, now for the Autocross Media Advance.
It goes to Jan
Lacuna.
Lacuna.
Yeah,
Lacuna
this
Matata.
is his second award for the day.
Means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free. Congratulations, Jan Lacuna.
And for the final driver of the day, it is for Autocross Media Beginner, Riz Javier. Yeah, she had quite a bit of fans that Kuya Darbs got to talk to.
Oh, yes, I remember. You were the Riz that they were all talking about.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, congrats.
Okay, class picture. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We now move on to the special awards from Petron XCS. And this one is the Excitement Award. And this one goes to Julia
De Los Angeles.
Isn't it great to see? I love seeing how equal this sport is.
Yeah.
And I love that they don't divide the classes. They don't have to divide the classes.
I think that's really, that's one thing amazing about racing.
Yep.
There really isn't any gender division in this.
All right, we go to the Clutch Award, and this one goes to John
Dizon.
Dizon.
Hey, that's pretty interesting. Are those cable jumpers?
Yeah! All right, while we're waiting for John, if John doesn't show up, we'll go to the Basta Driver Smooth Lover. No,
Yes,
ganun ba?
Smooth
Driver
Driver.
Award. And it goes to
Gino
Killiamore.
Woohoo!
Is there any coincidence he has Amor in his name, being so smooth himself?
Smooth Amor.
Smooth operator, Gino. And last call for John Dizon, if not. Yan, if a Facebook Marketplace yung prize mo.
All right. So, special awards naman tayo for Bridgestone.
Crowd favorite. Let's savor some time. Let's savor
Yan.
time.
All right. Crowd favorite award, which was voted online.
Stay there. Julia de Los Angeles.
Yeah! Racking up awards right there.
So this is on an online vote. And now we move to the Bridgestone Favorite Driver Award. And
Which is J. Lau.
Wow, he was on the phone pa naman. Wow, si Lau.
Kulang ng kamay. Parami ng awards.
Talk about his luck changing, huh? Now we move
Yeah.
over to the
Adrenaline Driver Award.
And that goes to
Daniel Matsunaga. Yeah. Bust the move right there.
And then we have our final award, which is the Slick Turns Award. And that goes to
Alan Palacios.
Woo! Iloilo
Yeah!
City, baby! Represent!
So, were there anyone who flew for this race?
Yeah, who flew from
Anyone
Iloilo?
from the south who flew?
Come on, there's got to be one. Fake it if you have to.
Oh, nice.
You can't buy a smile like that. Look at that. Look at that. Pure happiness right there. And those were your special awards from Bridgestone, your crowd favorite, your favorite driver, your adrenaline driver, and your Slick Turns Award. Thank you, gentlemen, and of course, Julia. And now we move over to the special awards from OMP. This one is for the team awards, and it is awarded by Eileen from Tuason Racing. Eileen, come up here, please. We need you to award this, and of course, nothing subjective about this award because it is really a mathematical result of 214 points for the team that scored the most points this round, and it goes to the Avengers Racing Team, made up of Inigo Anton, Joaquin Garrido, and of course, Julio de Los Angeles. 214 points there.
Yeah.
So we'll get the drivers and maybe a representative from the Team Avengers as well. Good job and congrats. Okay, we gotta give them space here. There's
There's a lot of them. Those are your team Avengers.
The Avengers, always a crowd favorite.
Always a crowd favorite. You know, they bring a crowd as well with them because they are just such a successful team. Really, really good job. Congratulations, guys. Next awards.
And is this it? I think this is it for special awards.
Okay, we're into the race number 6 already.
All right. So let us start with a promotional class.
The cats. Are you saying it's
Yeah,
still
you
in
know
your
what?
head?
All the adrenaline
And
in
that
me.
cat on the track, right?
Woo!
I can't
All
blame
right. So we're starting with 3rd place.
you. And that goes to, remember, we're doing race number 6 here, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd place goes to Jaron Messina. It's Jaron's first race weekend here at the Vios Cup. On the podium already.
And more podiums to come. All right, now in 2nd.
Wait! This is gonna make some noise over here. Alan
Palacios! Ayan, the monumental beer! Oh, I missed this!
I was gonna say, I missed that!
And for our champion,
Jay
Lau!
The curse has finally rubbed off Jay Lau. He is no longer the DQ king. He is now your champion for race number 6 promotional class.
Dominating this weekend. All right. Now for sporting class.
Was this it?
Bit of suspense right here.
Here we go, here
All
we
right.
go. Almost threw that out. For your sporting class, ladies and gentlemen, for race number 6.
Remember, with the race, we got a bit of a confusion a while ago. Sporting class and super sporting, they were racing together.
Yes,
All right.
of course. It was a mixed grid, but that doesn't mean that their classes change. The winners of each class will be awarded, and we're doing that right now. Okay, but before we get into this, we really need to show you just how exciting the day was. Ladies and gentlemen, we were able to put it into a same-day edit, just like you see in the weddings. Please feast your eyes on this. If you see yourself, feel free to make some noise. If you see a friend, feel free to make some noise. Former champ Alan Uy in the house.
Binibining Pilipinas International 2019, and I'm so excited to be here at the Toyota Vios Cup Leg 2.
I hope for a clean and smooth race this leg 2, and I hope everybody will enjoy.
The excitement was there, the thrill, the vibe, pushing the limits, the parang habang brakeless, ganun, yung adrenaline mo. It was so much fun. try my best to perform as the best that I can.
And before we go any further, can we just have, while we're all here, while we're all in a great mood, can we have one big round of applause for Toyota Motor Philippines? What's up? Without them, none of this is possible. Thank you, Toyota. Thank you for your commitment to racing here in this country.
Oh, yes. And thank you to all our sponsors.
Okay, that moves us on to race number 6. Let's kick it off with 3rd place, and that goes to Roy Sarmiento.
Roy Sarmiento, 3rd for sporting class.
And now we move on, ladies and gentlemen, to 2nd place. Remember, we're doing race number 6 in the sporting class, and that goes to Russell Cabrera.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, aside from the swanking trophy, you do get a money prize with this.
Absolutely, and you know what? I'm really excited for the next one because I know there's going to be a lot of noise for our winner. It's Giro Garbis!
Woo!
Now that's when you bring your own fan club with you. We love it. We love it, Garbis. Barangay Garbis. And those are your winners for race number 6, sporting class. Smile for the cameras, please.
All right, so congratulations to our winners. Now from the premier class, the creme de la creme, the super sporting class.
The Halo special of
race 6, starting with 3rd, Gerard Loy.
Saan si Gerard?
Gerard Loy.
Wala! Raffle! Raffle na lang!
Wala, pwede na natin kunin. Akin na lang yung ano,
Hey, sir,
yung
come
cheque.
on. Give the guy a break. They were wanting to make Hati na your prize.
Well-deserved win. Congratulations. All right, now in 2nd, the prodigal child,
Inigo!
Anton!
Yeah, baby! All the way from Baguio City. All right, and now for your champion, and a well-deserved one as well. This man drove not just the car, but he drove everybody insane in that last race. Brian Coe!
Our champion, he dominated the race.
And that is race number 6 for the super sporting class.
And that is our set of champions for the Super Sporting Race 6. All the drivers, may I request you all to come up for a photo op.
Come on, drivers.
Come on.
Whether you podiumed or not, or is it for the podium winners? Is it the podium for the podium winners or all drivers? All drivers.
All drivers, racers, autocrossers, come up. Come on up!
Whether you podiumed or not, ladies and gentlemen, if you drove a car this weekend, we expect you up here on stage. Once again, final call, all drivers. If you drove a Vios car today, okay, let me make that clear. A Vios race car or a cup car, not necessarily just a Vios today, please be up here.
Yes. And where are our co-hosts? Jut and Kuya Darbs, are you here?
Yeah, where's Jut and
Yes.
Kuya Darbs?
We need a class picture. Ayan na. There's Jut. Kuya Darbs, nag-heart-to-heart na ata sa bleachers eh.
Where's Kuya Darbs?
Napagod ata si Kuya Darbs.
Well, Kuya Darbs and Kuya Juts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at Class 2022 TGR Vios Cup. Yeah, baby! Woo!
Leg 2!
And that brings the event to a close, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do one more for the camera. Walang memory card. Wait. On 3, 2, 1, Vios Cup! And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It brings this final second leg to a close. It's been sensational. My name's James Deacon.
I'm Gabby Del Merced, and I have beside me is Jut and Kuya Darb somewhere sleeping at the back. We thank you and see you all to leg 3.
Drive safely, everybody. Woo!
And this has been the second leg of the 2022 Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Cup, brought to you in cooperation with Bridgestone, Petron, together with our other sponsors, Brembo, Denso, OMP, Swazon Racing, AVT, 3M, Rota, My Toyota Wallet, Kinto One.